Christian Miller. It's time for the Miller's Edge with four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here's college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Free for All Friday, excuse me, edition of the Miller's Edge. Let me get that fixed. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Sorry about that, man. I had a frog in my throat, I guess, and probably in part due to this weather. It is real muggy, rainy, all that good stuff. It got me a little pullover chase. I actually like this. I got this when I was in school, but I'm still rocking. It's a thin one. That way, it's not too cold outside, but it's like a little rain jacket. Anyway, hope you guys are staying dry. Hope you guys are ready to talk some football, man. We got plenty to talk about on the show today. A number of things we're going to hit, starting probably with the game last night. Just that was such a great game. I don't know if you guys watched it. I definitely did, and I just want to offer some thoughts on, man, number one, congrats to Miami for advancing to the national championship game. You can see how much it meant to Mario Cristobal, my former coach, and I've always had a great relationship with him. He was offensive line coach when I first got here. I think my first 2 years I was here at Alabama. He was offensive line coach, and I spent a lot of time on the scout team over as a little defensive end, about 215 pounds, man. But I was giving those tackles some hell. He loved it. He used to always come up to me and thank me for giving good looks, and that's what he wants, man. He wants passion, aggression, and physicality, and that's what I used to try to do over there on that scout field. People used to get mad, but that's part of it. Anyway, big shout out to him, and you could just see. I mean, his team literally, Chase, has taken on his persona. I mean, you see his eyes when they get a flag, when he's not feeling something, and then you just watch the way his team plays. I'm watching this clip right here on Twitter. I'll throw it on the stream real quick, and I mean, this is just poetry in motion. Just watching the physicality with this Miami football team. I put a tweet out last night. I mean, man, Chase, it must be nice to have third and short, hell, fourth and short, fourth and one, fourth and two, it doesn't matter. The defense knows what's going on. The stadium knows what's about to happen. Everybody knows what's going to happen. But guess what? We're going to line our ass up on that football, and we're going to run it straight down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. That was kind of the story of the game. Now, there was a number of other things in this game, right? I mean, some missed opportunities on Miami's part. A couple of interceptions probably would have made this game a little bit different, but they couldn't capitalize, kept Ole Miss in it, who, I mean, if you look at the stat sheet will show you Miami was dominating this game. It really shouldn't have been that close of a game, but shout out to Ole Miss, man, continuing to fight, showing that heart, just showing that really that spirit that we all thought they would have in this playoff run since Lane Kiffin had left, but it wasn't enough. Trinidad Chambers, Chase, was phenomenal again, came up with some big plays, especially when they needed it most, but unfortunately at the end of the game, he couldn't quite make one more magical play happen. A damn good pass, I should say, though. I mean, it actually was a pretty damn good pass. Some could argue that there was a lot of physicality on that last play. I wouldn't have been mad if they called a penalty. The problem is, Chase, you don't want to end the game on that. No, you don't want to call a penalty on the Hail Mary attempt. And then, even though you probably could have, right? I mean, there was a lot of contact. And I get it. When both guys are contributing to that contact, you're typically going to let those guys play. But I felt the guy was all over his collar well before he even had an attempt to catch the football. But it is what it is. Like, I think Pete Golden said this in the postgame. That's not why they lost the game. I mean, there's a number of factors. One being Miami just out physical that Ole Miss defense the entire game. I mean, and they just had their way with these guys, man. There's no other way to put it. Carson Beck, he's returned to form. He was a little inconsistent earlier on in the year. Second half of the year, he's been a lot better. Me and Gray have been talking about this, this Miami football team, and we keep saying, yeah, listen, we know they've got a physical defense. We know they got a defensive line that's the best in the country, even though I think they only had one sack last night, a little bit of a quiet night for those guys. But still, it didn't matter because Carson Beck, he made plays when it mattered most. And that's why I've been telling Gray and everybody else when I talk about this Miami team, listen, this is an older guy. This is a veteran who's got a lot of experience. He's played in these moments. He's a national champion. I think he was a backup at the time, but still, he knows what it takes. It's only a matter of time for a guy like that to step up. And that's what we've been seeing the last few games out of Carson Beck. And obviously it helps a lot when you have a running game the way they do, when you have an offensive line with, I mean, a guaranteed first rounder on the right side, probably a first rounder on the left side. Hell, even Brockermeyer, who transferred out of Alabama, a smaller guy at the time, he's put on some weight, not the tallest or the biggest, but still, you just watch the way these guys play football, Chase. I mean, that physical brand of football, it works. I mean, these guys aren't doing a whole bunch. They'll take their shots for sure. They take their shots, but still, a lot of screen game. They love the tunnel screen. But you know what they do, Chase, most importantly, that I think Alabama, Ryan Grubb, and everybody should probably pay attention to? That guy right there, number 10, Tony. He's a playmaker. He is their best playmaker, Chase. What do? They find ways to get him the football and put the football in his hands, whether it's tunnel screens, just hit him in the flat, downfield, whatever, right? I mean, this dude is all over the place. They're always trying to find him opportunities, man. I think now is one of the things that used to frustrate me watching our offense at times. When you got a guy like Ryan Williams, I feel like Ryan has that type of playmaking ability, right? I know they're different players, and I know Tony's playing lights out right now. I mean, in all phases, even hell, I'm watching him block downfield physically, and this guy's Mighty Mouse, right? So I'm not saying they're the same, but still, I think it just goes to show you, man, like, if you're struggling getting the football down the field, there's so many other things you can do to open other things up and just get the ball in your playmaker's hands. Those tunnel screens, I mean, we're killing Ole Miss. It's tough, and you know what it also does? It keeps the defense honest. So when they keep hitting you with these tunnel screens, it's making you play sideline to sideline, making you run laterally. And then guess what? Oh, crap, we can't forget about the downhill run. Can't forget about them just running the football down your throat. Oh, and we're going to take a shot. The way Miami, they scheme you up like that, it's balanced in a way where it keeps you honest. And what happens is when they keep pounding the football over and over and over, you know what that does for a defense, Chase? It wears you down. I'm telling you from experience, man. Didn't happen to us a whole bunch, but I'm telling you, when we would play teams that like to run the rock, after a while, you're like, golly, man. Shoulders start hurting. You're taking on pulling guards. I mean, you got these big physical linemen. They're putting all that weight on you, man. It fatigues you. And if you watched Ole Miss's defensive line, I would say, I don't know if they were out of shape. I don't know if it probably was both. They're probably a little out of shape, all the traveling they're doing, but also having that big-ass offensive line leaning on you all game. Trust me, man. It pays its it takes its toll. I should say it takes its toll, but really, really good football game. I feel like the playoff games this year have been outstanding. We were probably the one game that was pretty bad to watch, ironically. And then the group of 5 schools. Outside of that, we've been seeing some great football games, and it's been phenomenal, and I love it. But it leads me to one question that I have for you guys. There are some injuries piling up in this game, particularly on Miami's side. And we've talked about this. We kind of gotten lost with this conversation, but it brings me back to it. I mean, with all the extra football we're playing, man, I think that probably, is part of the contribution. It's a part of the contribution, right? I mean, you saw Lacey had she tweaks his hamstring on a run. I mean, guys were dropping like flies, it felt like. But I'm curious what you guys think, because, I mean, they're only going to expand. They're not going to shrink it. Are we kind of going to have to bring up that conversation again that, hey, maybe the season is getting a little bit too long, knowing that these injuries are starting to pile up? I mean, knock on wood, hopefully tonight it's a little bit healthier. But, I mean, you got Indiana, a physical team. You got Oregon, they're also going to be a physical team. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you see a similar type deal in the matchup tonight, which I also think is going to be a really good football game, a rematch between 2 Big Ten teams. And they went at it. Indiana, got the better of them the last time, traveling to Oregon, beating them by 10 points. But we'll see if Mendoza and the rest of that Hoosier football team can carry on what they've been doing, because right now, Chase, even after seeing Miami, they looked impressive, but still, I would argue without a doubt, Indiana looks like the best football team in the country. We'll see if they can continue that tonight as they take on Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks, and also my former position coach / coordinator, Tosh Lupoy, who will be the head coach at Cal when it's all said and done. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that and get y'all's thoughts on that game, because I thought it was a great football game. I think it goes to show at the end of the day, man, physicality always trumps all this finesse stuff, which Ole Miss's offense is kind of like that. You see it. It can help keep you in games, but still, when it comes down to it, being a physical style of football team, having a physical brand of football, running the football, man, it never fails, and it never will, right? And good defense as well. Defense always definitely wins championship games. But we got to hit a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll dive into a number of other topics. I've got plenty of things we're going to talk about on this Free for All Friday. We got the Pastor of Pain with us. he's hitting that road, and he's also hitting the stream. So he'll be hanging out with us. We'll get his thoughts on that. But if you guys have tuned into the stream, you see the title. This is probably going to be the most important conversation of the day. I just wanted to throw that out there because I was watching that game last night, locked in. The title on this stream for today, it says Alabama strikes out again. What's next? Well, what are we talking about? We're not talking about Alabama baseball. We're talking about Alabama football right now in this transfer portal era. One of the guys I was really excited about, Jordan Ross, who I thought we were hopefully going to have a good shot at landing. Unfortunately, we lost that battle, ends up committing to LSU. I don't even think we ever got him on a visit. Same thing with Peak, the offensive tackle. We actually pulled up his tape from NC State, teammate of Smothers. Never made the visit here, ended up committing to the Pastor Payne's Gamecocks, man. So we might need we got some beef with him right now. No, I'm kidding. I will say this, though. I have some thoughts on those guys as players, but also maybe kind of, the deal with them, why they didn't make it on the visits. And then I also will give you guys my opinion on what's next, right? Because I know everybody's wondering, like, oh, what do you do now? I'm not going to jump the gun, but I will tell you, I don't think it's time to panic by any means. This is part of it, but I do think we're going to have to lock in seriously on this back half because we're about, I guess, halfway through the portal. So we still got plenty of time, but it's really time to lock in because we've got some pieces that we need to add. And it starts right now over the course of really the next little bit more than a week. Because, again, just as a reminder real quick, the portal closes. But if you're already in the portal, you still can, make decisions and do all that. So there's still going to be some activity after that. We'll talk about that and more. All that coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. And if you're a big, I guess, lesson person, you like learning, I got a football lesson that I'm going to teach today because it seems like, Chase, I got to do this every other month, and it looks like we're going to do it again. So we're going to bring it back up. We're going to teach some people about some defense right here on the Miller's Edge when we come back.
This Valentine's Day at Pearl.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I know that was a long first segment, man. A lot of stuff to talk about, but I wanted to get that out the way. That way we could talk about the main stuff. But that was a really good game. I just wanted to offer my thoughts there. Who we got in here? Let me add the Pastor Payne up here real quick. Let me drop that, hit that, add that, and we're good. Hold on. What kind of bag was that? Hold up. Wait. Hold up. You over here preaching. Wait. Whoa. Wait.
Every time you do that, it goes quiet.
Nah, ain't no going quiet. You can haul, you can hear. What kind of bag was that? You talking about all this Gucci Louis, these dudes? What kind of bag was that? You still can't hear me. Rejoin, just rejoin. Come on now, you know the drill. Just rejoin. You still can't hear me? Nah, see, I think he can hear me. Nah, he just, I was pocket watching. I don't know. For some reason, maybe my eyes were playing games with me, but that looked like a Louis V bag. Am I tripping, guys? Hold up. He's over here preaching granted, he paid his dues. He can do what he wants, but hold on. He talking about the Gucci Louis. What was that? That looked like a new bag. That wasn't that TikTok bag he had the other day. Nah, see, folks should be getting on here smacking at the gums, man. Folks be smacking at the gums. Thompson, I can't hear. He had to get out of here. He had to go hide all his stuff real quick before he popped back on here. I'm just being funny, guys. Who's on here? We got Jake. What's up? Mike. Gump, what's up from Prattville? No Peak. Now what? I'll tell you my thoughts of that here in a minute. You got us?
Yeah, every time whatever you had that goes out, it's hard to reset.
I'm just bringing you up on stage, brother.
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know, but I was saying, you said you couldn't hear me. I was asking that bag, that didn't look like that TikTok bag that you had the other day.
Yeah, it is.
That same one? Okay, all right. I saw the back of it. Turn it around. Okay. From behind, it looked like a nice Louis Vuitton backpack.
I ain't got no.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I need one though. If anybody got one for sale, about 200. I bought. About that.
200, brother. You might be finding one from the China market. You ain't 200. You're talking about 2,000. The Christopher, that backpack goes for about 2,800. So y'all see these dudes with the Louis Vuitton Christopher backpack? That's a smooth $2,800. Yeah, man. But don't worry, guys. I know you guys got a bunch of questions about the whole transfer portal stuff. I'm gonna dive into that and answer y'all's questions there, because I know everybody's kind of freaking out, like, man, what the hell is going on? But this is why I was saying, and I hope Tia's in here. I hope Tia hears this.
Oh, Tia still come on the show? I thought she gave up.
Nah, she circled the block. She got tired
of that. The goat. I thought the goat. I was worried about the goat.
Nah, she's still in here. Nah, but this is the thing though. Is everybody, or she was saying, "Oh, we kill recruiting. We're not worried about the transfer portal." And I about started laughing.
She's still on that crap.
I'm like, this is not this is a different ball game.
Not weed, by the way.
What?
This is not weed.
Okay. And welcome back into this Free for All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Listen, we got the Pastor of Pain on here. If you're tuned into the stream, he wants to preface by saying what he's rolling up is completely legal. It's his old man pipe tobacco. Yeah, his classic old man pipe tobacco. So he just wanted to make sure you guys were understanding of that. He ain't he ain't riding dirty, nothing like that. All right. So we got a lot to talk about. I just gave just some initial thoughts on the whole Miami Ole Miss game. Great football game, man. Great football game. Two teams going at it to the end. Had some doinks off the goal post. I mean, it was one of those games, man. And I hate it for Pete and his guys, because, I mean, you could just see the fight they had. But he seemed a little worn out to me, man. I feel like this has been taking its toll on him. He seemed a little worn out to me. I don't know if I'm just reading into that too much, but I know he probably wished his defense played a little better. They had some busts, could not stop the run. Miami just chewed the clock. I mean, I think Miami literally probably had the ball 80% of the time, damn near. But I've said enough about it. I mean, do you want to offer some thoughts on that real quick before we dive into some stuff? I mean, I know you watched it. I know you probably have some thoughts.
I watched. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's I'm kind of out of the playoff thing right now. I'm not really excited about it. No.
What? How?
I mean, because
it's football. This is great football.
I know I like football, and I love football. But the way Kyle, I don't know if you, I don't even tweet much or X much no more, but I did this morning. I'm kind of sick of college football. I'm sick of what's happening. I'm sick of, Mark Cuban now all of a sudden. Oh, I'm Indiana alumni. I'm gonna buy all of their off-season stuff. I'm gonna pay for it. I'm sick of Miami and their billionaires buying a team, paying Carson Beck $7 million, and 20 whatever he is. I'm sick of it because college football was so special. Young men worked their tail off in high school to earn the right to get a scholarship, to go to school, a chance to get an education, a chance to play a game that they love. And if they're fortunate enough or blessed enough, they get an opportunity to go play in the National Football League. That's not the case no more. The case of college football right now is not amateurism. It's professional sports.
Yep.
And it takes away from a game where these guys are you go buy players, and all of a sudden, Ohio State did it last year. Miami's been doing it the last couple of years, and that's the reason why. I mean, this is what you see. I mean, Indiana, I know Kirk Herbstreit said something about it last night, but the love of the game and all that, and I hit him back, and I said, man, you tripping. Yeah, you won it. Alabama got 4 or 5 stars back in the day for the last decade and a half, right? And guys were passionate, because they didn't have millions of dollars in the bank. They was hoping for an opportunity to get those millions of dollars one day. And that therefore enlied the passion and everything that went along with college football. Now it's just Miami got all these players they paid all this money to. So it takes away from me, just like people used to say about my Bronx Bombers, the Yankees. Oh, they just buying, world championships. A lot of that was true because they were able to buy the best players. And they won a lot. And so now that's what you're seeing. I mean, Indiana, yeah, they got not a lot of 4 and 5 stars, but they got a lot of older players that they were able to bring in and made their team a very senior plus. Guys that are in their 20s that are playing. Maybe you play a team like Alabama that got younger guys, recruits, the Ryan Williams that still don't understand how to play the game, and that happens. And experience always, to me, beats athleticism. So I don't know, man. It was a great game if you just watched it from the eye. Pete Golden probably wish he had some things back. I thought he made some mistakes as a coach. He showed us, lack
Inexperience.
somewhere. Yeah, and that's okay. But they still had a chance to win. The bottom line, the defense failed them. I mean, they busted 2 big plays, gave up touchdowns. I mean, nothing that Miami did. They just didn't cover the safety steps up and got nosy and let the guy run right past. I mean, they missed the field goal. I mean, they did stupid stuff to cost them the game. It wasn't that Miami was that much better than them. They should have easily won the game. But anytime you look at a game of that magnitude, it comes down to 3, 4, 5 plays. You go like, man, that cost us. But it is what it is. I mean, I really don't even care who wins the national championship. Don't bother. I don't even care no more. I really don't. I used to love college football, but I find myself, I'll watch a little bit of it, then I pull away. I mean, it's just everybody's about the money. Everybody, the people that cover it's about the money. The Pat McAfee's making $17-20 million to be a stupid on a podcast. I mean, on the side. I mean, all of that bothers me.
That, but we kind of are on a podcast, but good.
Right, but it irks me. I mean, all that just takes away from it. And I love a guy like the quarterback from Ole Miss, his mother pray. I love that part of it. That to me is college football. Parents traveling, parents are built in, they support their children. I mean, the dude do it the right way.
Now the parents are tweeting more than the players. Now the parents are more famous on social media than the players.
I don't know. I don't know what Alabama's going to do. I know you talked about the transfer portal. I'm like, you know what? I mean, I don't know. South Carolina. But
y'all stole somebody. Y'all stole somebody.
No, because that's what they got to do. They got to go spend all this money, right?
Yeah.
They bring in this coach from TCU. He brings in his running backs coach. They bring in the D-line. They get Penn State players. They get these high, dignified players, high star ranking. That's got experience. They're forced to pay a lot of money so you're not going to be able to compete if you don't. I mean, people will say, well, Indiana, that's one example of a team that's got all these veterans. They hit the stock market, so to speak, but it ain't going to be long lasting, right? So now they talking about, well, Mark Cuban, I'll write a check for your whole transfer portal. I mean, come on, man. I mean, is this what college football is? I'm sorry, I'm out. I tap out, have at it. You're not amateur sports no more. You are a professional sport. You talking about like Shane Beamer right now, they're sitting here in Columbia. They're bringing in NFL GM guys, and that's what has to happen. And so don't tell me college football is a college sport no more. It isn't. It's a pro sport, and then therefore I'm done with it. I mean, whoever wins. Whoever got the most money and the smart make the best decision with that money is probably going to win. I mean, so those days of what y'all had and guys getting developed, guys staying at their school for 5 years, guys waiting their turn and their opportunity, it's gone. That's not happening anymore. We're bringing guys from all over the place. Now we're looking at like a free agent list. Who's a free agent? Who can we get? That's what you're doing right now. Whether we lost that guy, South Carolina got this guy, or LSU, he got the most money. Why? Because they told Lane Kiffin, you got all the money you want. Go spend it. Go get the best player. It ain't because he beat somebody because he recruited them. He said, I got the best system. He said, I'm going to get you the best education. The coach didn't tell the parent, we're going to help turn your young man into a grown man. He's going to have great opportunities after he graduates. If he don't make the pros, we got a great, alumni base that help get jobs. That's gone. That's all the stuff that college, the things I know about college, things you know about college, is gone. Absolutely gone. It's just a pro sport. It's who got money and who can bring in the so-called GM and go out and create ways to bring these players in, and you try to build a team. That's what it is, and it's sad that that college football now has run off the road. Period. It's done. It's a pro sport.
No, I agree with everything you're saying. You're not wrong. However, I would argue that watching these games over the past few weeks with the college football players, they've been good football games, right? So I can appreciate that. I'm trying to hold on to that appreciation of the sport because I like you. I like watching football and I like watching good football. Like this is what the college football playoff should be, and it's refreshing. Obviously, I would love to see Alabama in it, but it is refreshing to see the U in there, right? Knowing the history with that program. Ole Miss, right? Seeing their emergence, an SEC team that has been. They've been decent over the past few years, but they've never gone this far. It's their best season yet. I hate it got cut short. An Indiana team that came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I still enjoy good football, so I do appreciate that. But you are 100% right.
I don't care who wins it. Any three teams can win it except Miami. I hope Miami bus won't crank to get to them. Whatever. I mean, it
wouldn't matter. They're playing at home.
I like Mario Cristobal. They're going to be at their home stadium. I know they can take an Uber to the game. But my point is, whoever it is, I hope they lose. You know why I hope they lose? Because I cannot stand to see. I'm tired of seeing Michael Irvin. I'm tired of seeing Ray Lewis now at every game. I'm tired of seeing all this crap that you ain't been worth a pony for 2 decades. Now all of a sudden we're talking about the freaking. I'm sick of that because it's just like, nah, man, get out of here.
But I mean, that's their alma mater. I mean, like, listen, Michael Irvin's doing too much.
Now laying on the ground, he's so theatrical and just come on, man.
He needs to keep his pants on his waist. But I mean, like Michael Irvin.
You're 60 years old. Your pants fall into your freaking come on, man.
Look at him.
I wouldn't want you to be around that crap. I mean, that's like
9. He's losing his mind out there.
Up today, Look at him put belt to putting up the U. Listen, it is annoying as hell. And another one, just real quick. For this time, at least he didn't have his pants were falling off his rear last time, and I thought he was about to have a slip up. But no, I mean, listen. I know it is doing too much, but it is what it is. At least he's got passion right now. I mean, you talk about the whole money aspect. You're 100% right, and we're going to dive into it. Like I said, we had an offensive tackle that really could have been beneficial for us. He was scheduled to visit us. A lot of people are excited. Hell, I'm breaking down this tape. Now I done wasted 30, 40 minutes of my damn own life watching a guy who's going to go suit up for the Gamecocks. But it's part of it. He didn't even make it on the visit here. Shane Beamer, Ray Tanner, whoever it is back in Columbia.
Ray Tanner's gone.
He's gone? Oh, man. Poor Ray. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, like, the kid didn't even make it out of Columbia. They locked him down and said, hey, man, give us a number. And I'm going to talk about what's going on and then what we need to do to pivot when we come back. But first, we got to hit a timeout. I appreciate your thoughts. I think everybody listening, really, it resonates with everybody because especially us at Alabama. Some of these other schools, they didn't have a choice, right? Like they had to go pay up and hit the portal and do all this. But we've always, took pride in retaining guys and building guys up, guys that bleed crimson. Now, I don't even know half these guys or who they are or where they come from. I like you said, it feels like a pro team. We're just signing them. Hey, all right, come put on this jersey. I don't know if they know anything, if they know a lick about the University of Alabama or could even care. Hopefully that's not the case, but that's how it feels. We got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we'll keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Who?
So dumb. So daggum stupid.
Whether you just found it or lived there for years, you'll never forget that feeling. It was something that made you realize that this house would become your home. And since there's no place like it, it deserves protection just as special.
I'm sorry. It is funny. It is childish, but it is funny, though. Hey, but you got to admit, though, like, pause, no weird stuff, but, I mean, to be 60, I mean, brother's in great shape, man. Last time he did that, man, dude have more abs than I do right now. I'm like, come on, man. I haven't hit the big 3-0 yet. I don't know. He might be taking something. Everybody nowadays on peptides, TRT.
Well, they take the GLP.
They taking all that. I don't even hardly drink protein like that. The more I drink smoothies, natural, fruit smoothies. But yeah, man, them dudes are probably cheap. There ain't no way, man. Ain't no way 60 years old look like that, man. Pause. I know, but you get what I'm saying. I know you guys probably thought the same thing. Ain't just me. How many of our portal guys will come back? Do you think? A bunch don't have new homes still. I think there definitely could be one, maybe two guys potentially, but I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how good I feel about that. Listen,
What do you want back?
Well, here's the thing. Oh, I haven't told you this. Protein's way overrated. No, it's not overrated, but I just try to get it in my diet.
That's how you get your muscle, bro. That's not who said that?
Let's go. Yeah, no. Protein is important. Sorry, I just got a notification that Intel stock is going on up. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. Let me stay focused. What was I saying? Sorry, that just caught me off guard, but that's great news. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Oh, people coming back. Oh, I forgot to tell you this part though. So, Formby, who everybody was ready to run out of town, brother. If you knew the number that I was told that Texas A&M paid that young man to come to College Station, brother, you might run off that road. Now, don't do that. I'm not going to say it.
I'm not driving the car.
Drive. I know you got the fancy.
I'm just riding. I'm an Uber rider.
Ubering yourself. No. Listen, I'm not even kidding. Like the numbers nowadays, I mean, it's outrageous. And this is why I tried telling people honestly, like when the portal first opened up and everybody's like, "Oh, it's portal season. We're getting ready to cook," and I just tried to politely say, to help people have like realistic expectations, we're not that's not really who we are. So I'll be honest, I'm not shocked that we missed on Ross. I'm not shocked that we missed on Pete, because I'm telling you, I know what these other schools are doing. That's what I was trying to say. Like, we're not doing what these other schools are doing. So it's going to be a little bit tough for us. And that's why I try to tell people on Twitter, they try to tell me, "Oh, what relationships?" I'm like, this is the transfer portal. They don't care about no damn relationships. What are you talking about, dude?
How much money you got? How much money
you got, man? And where are you putting me at? And welcome back into this Free for All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hey, here we go. Let's talk some portal stuff, since we just got a great lesson in speech and I guess sermon from the Pastor Payne about this whole thing. Here's the thing. So we swung and we missed on Peak. We swung and we missed on Ross. Well, did we really even swing after all? I don't even know. They never made it to campus. But this is what's happening. And I tried to say this when this whole thing first started, when everybody was like, "Oh, just wait. They're cooking. I don't even know if the burner's on yet. Like, we're not cooking. And then listen, we're doing about what I expected. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Yes, we need more. But here's the thing. Alabama is not looking to pay what these other schools are paying, and that's what I was trying to politely say. And when it comes to these guys that are going to be charging a premium, we're not really going to be in the running with that. That's just never been who we are. That's never been our philosophy. Now, I was curious if we might see a little bit of that shift, since we've had a number of guys leaving. What happens there? You open up some money, you got a little more cheese in your pocket that you can go spend. But I'm just telling you guys, a left tackle, they're charging a premium, right? Edge rusher, he's charging a premium. You got to make these decisions and on where you want to put your money. And we've never been the school to just be handing out these checks like that. We just don't do that. So I'll be honest with you. I'm not shocked that these guys aren't even making it to the visit, because what's happening is they're going on these other visits and these schools are locking them up before they even leave. And I'm telling you, that's why I kept saying, if you guys knew the numbers, the offers, the compensation, it is beyond probably what you guys could even imagine. So there's no shock really that this is kind of happening right now. Where do we go from here? What's next? I'll be honest with you. There's a number of options, and you have to remember too, the portal window is open for, I think, 15 days or whatever it is. It opened up last Friday. So you got about another week or so of the portal being open. However, that's not the cutoff. So all that means is if you choose to transfer, you have to do it within that window. As long as you do it within that window, you can be in the portal for, I guess, weeks, month later, whatever it is. I don't know what the limit is on that, if there even is one. But as long as you're in the portal, you're in the portal. So once that cutoff hits, whoever's in there, that's who you have to choose from. And trust me, just like we had a guy yesterday leave, and Isaiah Horton, we'll talk about that here in a minute. People are going to start. There's still people that are going to pop up and enter the portal. That said, do I believe we're going to hit on these home run people, these top guys? Again, look at our history. We don't ever really go land the top players out of the portal like that. I could be wrong. And again, I don't really care about the rankings. That doesn't matter, because I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And this is not coming from somebody who's salty that we didn't get Peak. You guys know me. I have no emotion when it comes to this stuff. Like, I don't get. I literally just like breaking down tape and following the updates. We watched both Peak's tape and we watched Jimothy Lewis, the reserve tackle from Ole Miss. And if you guys were watching the stream yesterday, I literally broke both of these guys down. Two different types of players, two different kind of body type styles. You know, Peak being a little bit more athletic, better feet, but he's going to be a little more susceptible to power. Jimothy a little bit more on brand with kind of a guy like Caden Proctor, more powerful. And I know you guys are probably like, oh crap, no, but hear me out. Excuse me. I actually kind of liked his tape a little bit. I wouldn't say better, but on tape he was more powerful. To me, I'm like, we can work with that guy. I think he's younger. He got some more life out of him outside of just this year. So what I'm getting at is you might have to settle for some guys like that, which might not on paper look exciting. And I still would love to get a proven guy instead of trying to take a swing on a guy who's a reserve guy who has good potential, because I think you need a balance of both. I would love if we could land a guy like Jimothy Lewis, then also get another proven experienced guy that you know has played quality snaps and can come in here and immediately make an impact and improve what we've seen out of the offensive line over the last few years. But what I'm saying is don't get too caught up when you see, Peak #1 offensive tackle in the portal. I'll be honest with you. Again, I watched the tape, not highlights. We watched the tape. There's other players that might not be ranked this high. To me, I'll be honest with you. My thoughts on Peak was good player, good athlete, but he's not perfect. He's not a polished guy either. Does he come in here and he starts and he's got plenty of experience? Yeah, 100%. But I'm telling you right now, I didn't see him as, you get him here, then he'll be a first rounder immediately next year. No, he still had some stuff to work on as well, as will all these guys pretty much. But I say that just so you guys understand. Don't get caught up in rankings. Don't get caught up in, we missed on this guy. Just be patient right now. We get to a few weeks down the road and we haven't landed hardly any guys and we don't have depth and we don't have anybody that's proven. Then we can kind of start talking about, all right, this looks a little not like the best situation. Doesn't mean it can't pan out. You still got a guy like Jackson Lloyd, who, I've seen him since he got on campus. I think he's a great athlete, great size. He moves well. Listen, he might end up developing, and you might say, all right, man, this redshirt freshman tackle we got, and he's better than anybody we would have brought in anyways. The problem is you're just banking on that potential. And to me, in this day and age, if you don't have to do that, I probably would not do that. Let that guy continue to develop and then get somebody that's proven. That should be the goal. But it might not work out that way because, like my dad said, at the end of the day, for all these people that try to sit here and tell me, oh, no, but we recruit so well. All those folks in the recruiting office, they're going to get the job done. Guys, this is the transfer portal. I tried telling you. I know how this stuff works, man. It's just not recruiting. These dudes care about two things: how much you're paying me and what opportunity am I going to have? Where am I going to play? Am I going to start? What does that look like? And how much you pay me? You think these guys are establishing these great relationships in 2 weeks? That don't make sense. Recruiting guys, that you're recruiting these guys for a year, 2 years, sometimes 3. You're not doing that in the portal. No, this is like he said, this is like free agency. It is what it is. And so if you're not willing to pay that bread like that, you're not going to land the players that you guys are seeing and hoping to land. It doesn't work like that. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, that's the reality of college football. That's where we're at. And it sucks. I hate it because, like he said, man, it doesn't even feel the same. I don't know if these dudes even care about this script day that I'm wearing on this shirt. Like I said, I got this pullover in college. I still rock it. I love it to death. You know what I mean? You see the wall that's decorated with all those national championship visits to the White House, the celebrations on the field afterwards that they give us, in memory of winning these championships. I take pride in all that. I don't know if these dudes could care less. These dudes, in my opinion, I don't know if they're coming here because they want to play for Alabama. Or they're just coming here because they think it's cool and they're going to get paid. And it sucks. It sucks. The whole thing with B-Sci-Fi that we take pride in, that just doesn't feel the same. And I feel like each year it changes.
It's not the same.
It's not. Well, it changes each year.
They don't care. They don't care because they'll come one year, and if it don't work out the way they think it should work out, they're going to go to the next one. And it's about money. It's no loyalty. It's nothing there. There's nothing there. That's what I'm saying. Like, at South Carolina, okay, every year there's 40 different guys on a transfer portal coming through the school, right? and you build a fraternity, in the Hall of Fame, the all-time team, for years, I mean, if you didn't know these guys, you got to know them at events and functions and, different things, and you hear their stories and you hear about playing the rivalries, and I mean, there's just camaraderie there, even if it's decades apart from playing each other. Those things were cool, right? That they took pride in for us putting on the block C and showing up. Now, I don't even know 90% of these dudes. I mean, I go over there and be like, hey, this is so-and-so he transferred in from Cal or wherever. NC. I mean, okay. And what? He's not a Gamecock. He's a free agent.
Yep.
He's a free agent. When I left New York, and all those years I stayed in New York, the hardest thing for me was leaving and going into a different locker room. Now, I had the fortune of going to Minnesota, and I made great friends with Jeff George and John Randall and Chris Doleman, Jerry Paul, Ed McDaniel. It ended up being a cool thing, but still, it's a different locker room. And I've been in there with boys, from LT, Phil, all these guys for all these years, straight hands. We've been rock and rolling, training camp, doing all stuff together. It wasn't even the same. Yeah, I met some good guys, but it was not the same. And, I mean, like even now, when I talk about NFL, I always talk about John. I sometimes forget I even played at Minnesota. Somebody have to remind me. I mean, it's just like, right. It's like, that's my point. There's going to be people that come through Alabama. It's going to be for 9 months, 10 months.
Like Horton. And this isn't a knock on him. Listen, he's a great player, made some great plays. Shout out to him making plays in the Iron Bowl and whatnot. But Isaiah Horton, right? He came from Miami, great player. Right, but it was just a 1-year short-term rental. He's back in the transfer portal. Like, I hate to say like this, but
it's a plug-and-play guy. It's like, okay,
he's
we
not
need a
come
third
back
option receiver. We need a more veteran receiver. Okay, let's see who we got out there. We can get a veteran guy that we don't, we can't depend on an 18-year-old. There's not many guys like number 10 at Miami that can play at that high level, or Ryan Williams that could come there and mature beyond his years. There's not a whole lot of that.
Right.
So you got to go out and get plug-and-play guys. Alabama need tackles. They're trying to go find veteran guys. You don't want to go find a guy that you're not sure. Why are you going to spend money on a guy that hasn't played at the school he's at? So if I'm gonna be in that game, I'm gonna go find a guy that can freaking play, right? That I can say, okay, he might be wanting to leave Texas A&M or Clemson or wherever, Georgia. Well, you know what? We need a left tackle. We got to protect our star quarterback. 100%. I'm willing to pay him a lot. So I'm gonna put the bag to his feet and say, man, we want you here, and make him say no to. That's what got to happen.
You have to.
I can't go on a whim and hope I get a reserve guy that I recruited in high school that say, okay, I'm gonna go get him. Well, he can't even play at the school he's at. If you can't play where you at, I ain't giving you no money to come here. Sorry, you should have came in through high school, did that route. I'm not giving you no money. If I'm giving you money, you best be able to play. And I'm going to put a clause in there. If you can't measure up to the money that I'm giving you, because this is professional sports now, then guess what? I got the right to take money back. That's where I'm going to structure contracts, because if I'm going to put money on the line, you're not going to get a bag and just walk around and floss with your Louis Vuitton and Gucci and your rollers and all that. And then you go out there and you suck, and you stuck with my $5 million. No. We're gonna have something in there, some clauses about you have to do X, Y, and Z, and if not, then certain part of this contract is null and void. That's the way I'm going to structure it. Now, if you just want to go stay up Jesse James, what's going to happen? Alabama get a bunch of Jesse James. They Jesse James without a gun. They go there and they rob and they steal and ain't giving nothing. That's bad.
Well, I'll say this: Alabama's in an interesting predicament here because, and I said the same thing. Like even when we had Clint on, like, listen, at this point, as much as we just talked about, I don't want to sound hypocritical. As much as we just talked about how much we hate this system, it is the system. You don't have a choice. And if you're Alabama, especially Kalen DeBoer going into year 3, listen, I'll be the first one to tell you it was a step in the right direction. There's a lot of positives, but when you end the season the way you ended it, man, there's like a little bit of a scar there. You know what I mean? Sitting there, and then it kind of opened back up with with the way we lost that game in the Rose Bowl. I agree with you. You can't afford to rely on guys that were reserves other places, even if they have a lot of potential, even like relying on the young guys. And that's why I said at some point, our philosophy here in Tuscaloosa, we're going to have to shift it a little bit. As much as we don't want to do it, maybe I don't know about how the resources work. You have no choice though, because this is year 3, and there are a lot of eyes on this football program. And we are sitting in a position. The reason I say we're in an interesting predicament is because not only do we need a proven guy, we need bodies in general. We have like 6 offensive. We have 5 scholarship wide receivers on the roster right now. 5, only 5. That's literally like all the guys that are needed to play. You don't have any depth, so you have to get that. The offensive line, there's like 6, maybe 7 scholarship offensive line. If I'm counting that correctly, we need way more depth. So I'm okay getting the guy that's a reserve guy who has good potential because you need that anyways. But I also feel like it is imperative, knowing how this offensive line has looked. And I hate to say it like this, but we have not developed great over the last few years. So I don't think you want to over rely on that either. If you're Miami and you got Cristobal as the head coach and Mario Ball and whoever balls, all these balls that they have on their coaching staff that are just physical offensive line guys, that's one thing. I mean, because you see what they've done. They've got a couple portal guys in that line, but they developed the hell out of these players. You know what I mean? I just think if you're Alabama right now, from what I've seen, you can't rely on that. And you have to find a way. And listen, a lot of guys have hit the portal. You should have some stuff opening up. You should have some extra resources, right? And that's what Courtney Morgan was saying on that show. Like, oh, well, if a guy decommits, well, that just means we can pay another guy a little bit more. Well, we got 20 guys or so in the portal. A receiver that just left yesterday allegedly was making like $700,000. You tell me we can't get a solid tackle with, I mean, at least close 50-60%.
Wait a minute, who's making $700,000?
Allegedly, according to On3, I think they had Isaiah Horton as like a $700,000 guy. I think Bernard was listed as. Again, we're not pocket watching. I don't pocket watch here on the Miller's Edge.
I do.
Oh, you hear what I'm saying? So that's $700K allegedly that might have just opened up.
Jeremy Bernard graduated. Let me ask you, how many catches did Mr. Horton have?
I think he was like 3rd on it. Ryan Williams was 2nd on the team. I want to say he was 3rd maybe, but he had a number of touchdowns. He had Missouri, big game, Auburn, big game. He was a little streaky at times, but he had like several games, like multiple touchdowns. But
I know he had some good games, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know about 700,000 though. I mean, and think about it. You know what's crazy? Latsier Brooks was probably making like maybe 80 or maybe 100 type deal.
Where is he at now?
We re-signed him. But I'm telling you, see that like this is how it should work. You play well, you get rewarded.
Right. I ain't mad with that.
That's simple. That's how it should be. You play well, you get rewarded. Latsier Brooks, Michael.
Now, what
Carroll,
about this Cam Coleman
90.
guy? What about Cam Coleman?
Man, that boy is asking about 2.5. I mean, he's a damn good player, but I'm just saying, listen, you tell me what you do. You got an offensive line that looks like ours that's bare bones and ain't got nothing to really to go off of right now.
Cam Coleman, what's his stats last year?
Well, remember, he was at Auburn, right? So, I mean, you got a bad quarterback situation. I mean, listen, I don't want to go off his – I don't know his stats, but I'm just telling you, he's 6'3", 200 maybe, something like that. Hell of a player. He's from the state, but I'm just saying, allegedly, word on the street is he's going for 2.5 upwards of maybe even 3. And best believe Texas A&M are not afraid to drop that kind of money.
Oh, they're gonna pay it.
Yeah, they're gonna pay it. But I know who's not. Alabama. We're not. If he comes here, it's gonna be on a discount. But my thing is, I hate to say it like this, but the days of saying like, oh, come to Alabama and like. For somebody like me, it would work because I take pride in it. I love the history of it. Nobody's
out there like you no more.
You know what I'm saying? That's what but I'm saying, like, if we could find more guys like that, that'd be great. Because, like, to me, like, man, I light up when and I don't go around just saying it because I'm modest. But like when people are like, "Oh, you played Alabama," like I take pride. You see, I'm Bama out. These dudes don't care about that.
But these new guys ain't wearing Bama stuff no more. They wearing Louis Vuitton coats, Gucci sweaters. I mean, they ain't putting on a shirt because they embarrassed by it because they got their end. I mean, they ain't putting that on.
Yeah, this ain't high end enough no more. For us back in the day, this was wearing Gucci. You walked around campus with this. This was better than any Gucci, Louis, Hellstar, any apparel you could find. Nowadays, we don't want to get caught in that. Nah. No, that don't feel luxury enough.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's the fact that we can sit and talk 45 minutes about this nonsense about a guy I ain't done crap and talking about 700,000. You give him 700K and he
chill.
gonna leave
Listen. I mean, well, listen. He's a good player.
No, bro. I mean, you gave him an opportunity. Alabama does give you the biggest stage, regardless of all the other teams. Alabama's still going to trouble. I bet you that if you look at people that watched that game last night, they ain't touched the game that Alabama played in. The amount of views, I promise you that.
Oh no, views no, but I'm saying he did transfer from Miami. So to be fair, I mean his old team is in the championship.
Oh, now he's going to go back to Miami. Now he think they're good. Well, we've seen that before. How many times have we seen that?
Well, we did see it with Proctor. Proctor went to Iowa on a visit. He went on a vacation real quick. He took a quick trip to Iowa and circled the block, which I mean I don't blame him. But but Iowa ended up winning the Joe Moore Award, I think.
Oh, I think they did.
Yeah, I think they did. All right, here. So I just heard Chase's voice. Chase, I'm sorry. Let's do this. I know we got a combined break, so we'll hit this top of the hour break. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. Hour number 2 coming right up, and I'll probably stay behind a little bit. We'll probably watch some more tapes since you guys love that. So all that is in store when we come back from this top of the hour break, and we're going to go to the phone lines. We want to get y'all's thoughts. We've been offering all of our opinions on this. What do you guys say? I'm sure you guys got plenty of questions. We'll answer those as well right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Man, we got 211 in here, man. The show just keeps going and keeps growing, and we appreciate you guys for that.
Because they know what we're saying is spot on. Because I need to be a GM. I'm going to try to be a GM because
you kind of look like Courtney Morgan, just a little bit. Your favorite?
No, don't put me in that category. My team will get out there and get sandblasted by Indiana. My team will have pride. My team, listen, if they go out there and don't show up, don't play, they won't play for me. You know what? I'm taking their money back.
You gotta have.
I'm calling the tow truck. You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying about that? I'm not. I'm gonna make them earn. Even you know what? Listen, bro. I don't mind paying you a bag, but sure. I'm not giving you 15 sacks worth of bag, and you giving me 3. Right? No, I'm not doing that.
That's kind of along the lines of what HaHa Clinton Dix was saying the other day. I'll pull up his tweet because I don't think you got a chance to react to that. But real quick, let me remind the folks because we got 210 here, and I would be doing a misservice if I didn't. If you guys are just joining us, welcome in again. This is the Miller's Edge. I'm sure you guys have probably been hearing. We've been having a lot of stuff going on recently, and it's been blowing up. But anyway, all we ask is if you guys are enjoying the content, man, hit that like button, subscribe. That way you don't miss a beat. Monday through Friday, we're live every day. We are a radio show. That's why we're on a commercial break. But we stream the show right here for you guys that prefer to watch the show instead. Again, everything's free. Just hit that like button and subscribe, and that always helps us. I think we're at like 75 likes. We got 200 people in here. Let's get that up to like 150. Let's double it. It takes 2 seconds, and we just appreciate that. So thank you guys. Just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Somebody said you look a little bit more like Suge Knight. I think you're a little bit darker than him, but maybe the beard. I'm being funny.
I don't even know who was Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, come on. You know was it Death Row back in the day? I mean, I think
I don't listen to that, bro. I listen to worship music. I listen to CC Winans.
And now you listen.
I listen to Worthy is Your Name.
Whoa.
I listen to something that's going to praise.
I remember all the Ludacris albums I used to find in the car back in the day. So,
but that's BC. That's BC before Christ.
Before you met Christ. However, Suge Knight, Death Row, that was in your time when you were probably bouncing in the Escalade, doing the bankhead bounce back in the day.
I've heard of Rick. I heard of Rick Ross.
Rick Ross, bro. What?
Ain't they the same person, Rick Ross and Suge Knight? They the same people?
Hell no. Bro, no. Come on, man. Listen, don't try to act all you're trying to pull stunts for the people. Don't be too Christian on here now. Your ass was listening to Tupac and Biggie back in the day, especially playing in New York. Don't act like you don't know about Diddy, Biggie, all that. Because if my young self
I know about Baby Oil, and I know about all that.
Baby Oil, whoa. We're talking about Diddy before the party, brother. Before the party, brother. He's trolling, guys. He got to be trolling. How does he? Come on now. You're telling me this dude played 9 years for the New York Giants. 9 years for the New York Giants, teammates with Lawrence Taylor, who was at the strip club 3 hours before the game, before kickoff, was in there hitting bumps and throwing dollars, and you don't know who Suge Knight is. Not buying it,
What's that got to do with Suge Knight hitting bumps and throwing dollars? That to me is about women that we and unfortunately paid to go to college. I mean, we were doing NIL deals before deals back in the day.
Yeah, y'all were cutting NIL deals all right for them young women. Y'all were NIL good before it got started. That wasn't good at all.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I was the chief. I'm not trying to throw shade, but anyway, my point is this, man. If you're Alabama, Nick Saban said this better than anybody. Kalen DeBoer has done a good job because it's good that you made the playoff, that you are final 8 team, final 16, and you made the second round of the playoff. Most teams would be extremely grateful for that opportunity. Most teams, but Alabama isn't most teams, right? That's unacceptable. And then you lose in the manner in which you lost. So
that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem.
You know, Greg, the AD, and all Greg Burns, they got to say this. You ain't got all them great, matter of fact, all them coaches are coaching in the final, Nick Saban disciples. They got their head coaches. Your coaches with Kalen DeBoer are not those guys. And the development of average players are not happening. You're not developing 2 and 3 stars and making them into 5 stars. So you have to do something to change that. So if you got sure enoughs out there, dudes that you know that can play at a high level, pay them. Give them the bag. You got to find somebody that knows how to, catch this word, differentiate from this guy to that guy, backup, role player versus my dude, every down guy that's going to turn that. So Alabama has to do a better job of that. If they don't, they're going to be good enough to win 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 games sometimes.
This is Miller's Edge.
If not, it's not going to happen.
No, I agree 100% with you. Hold on, I'm going to come back. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday. This is the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. This is exactly a free-for-all Friday. I think it was during the break, but if you want a good laugh, we're cutting up over here. It's definitely going that direction today. Real quick, before we go to the phone lines, we got some super chats we got to show some love to because we always appreciate you guys for y'all support and y'all's questions 100%, and we got to prioritize these for sure. We got one from Ron. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Christian, should we be worried about striking out on top transfer portal guys? Here's the thing. Should you worry? No, not yet. Because like we talked about earlier, there's plenty of time left. There's going to be guys that aren't in there now that will be in there. There's going to be conversations being had. Best believe there's guys that aren't in the portal, but there's going to be, whether it's through different channels, trying to see if we can pique somebody's interest, saying, hey, man, we got a spot here. If you're on the fence about this, and then, you know what I mean? So there's going to be guys that aren't in the portal that you might not be thinking of right now that could pop in there. And remember, it goes on past the date. The date, which is like next week where it shuts off, is just for you having to enter the portal, right? That's all that is. You can still sign guys from the portal past that date. So I would not say worry about it. But if you guys have been listening to what I've been saying, you probably wouldn't be as shocked that we are missing out on some of these top guys, because I try to not warn you guys, but just give you guys a heads up. I'm very familiar with how we do things, and we're not going to really go after these top guys that are demanding like what some of these other schools will pay. We're not going to be matching what Texas A&M, Texas, Ohio State, maybe even Georgia or Oregon will pay. I'm just telling you guys, I know that to be true. We're not going to do it. So you have to find guys that would be willing, that wants to come here and that actually want to play here, which to me isn't necessarily a bad thing, because me and my dad talked about it. You should try to get those types of players that actually want to come play for the University of Alabama. And that's why I told you, majority of the top recruits that we bring in, I'm telling you, probably 80, maybe even 90% of them could have gone and signed with another school for more money. I'm not saying we don't have money. I'm just telling you how we do things around here. So you should respect the guys that do sign here, the top guys, because I'm telling you, they probably could have made some more money other places. And I'm not saying every one of them. Some of them probably we did pay, a pretty nice price. But that's just the philosophy of how we've done things. Maybe we start to see it change. Maybe this puts some pressure on them to say, hey, we don't have a choice now. Now we're going to have to start doing things a little bit different. I don't know, but I would say don't, for not just you, Ron, but everybody that's kind of worried right now. That's why you guys are tuning in, because you guys want to hear our opinion on it. Don't panic just yet. There's still time. Let it play out. See what happens. Now, we will circle back to this conversation next week when it closes, a couple weeks after that, and we'll see how this roster starts taking shape. And if we don't address some of those critical needs, then we can say, all right, there is a little bit of concern in terms of where we're at right now. But we still, even at that point, if I could offer you any bit of confidence, you still have to let these guys, go and show what they can do. Hell, I'll be out there during the spring. I'll tell you guys what I think about some of these young guys who we might have to rely on. And hopefully I can come back with good reports. And, hey, we might have missed on this guy in the portal, but I see why they weren't so eager to go get this guy. They felt good about a guy like Jackson Lloyd. They felt good about a guy like QB Reese. I see it. Even though, I see the potential in those guys, but I haven't seen them, really in quite some time like that. So I'm curious, right? And then they'll have training camp. We'll have to see on that. But big thanks to Ron for that.
Ron, let me give you the opposite real quick. You should be worried. You should be worried, because if they're not willing to pay top talent, they have shown to me in 2 years enough for me to see that you're not going to develop average to above average talent to be able to compete when you get a chance to play teams like Indiana, teams like Georgia consistently. You not have shown me that you have the coaching staff that can take a guy from here to here. They haven't shown that, and therefore lies the problem. So you better go get some dudes, older dudes, veteran dudes that's got a lot of starts, a lot of snaps under their belt. Bring those guys in. That's going to tell me you can't do it at every position, but you better have them in the most critical positions.
Listen,
Alabama.
Okay.
They haven't shown me that they can do that. That's all I'm saying. So I think it is a reason to have some worry. I do.
Well, I'll agree in terms of I don't think enough players have shown that, right? That development that you're referring to. I'm not going to disagree there, but I will add that I do think there are some examples of guys that this staff brought in that they evaluated well and that are showing signs of being really good football players. I'll give you a couple of examples. Latsier Brooks, he was a 3-star guy, I believe, coming out of New Jersey, something like that. Really talented player. We see how special he is. Michael Carroll, he was a higher rated guy, but still, to me, he shows a lot of promise. I'm excited about him. The tight end, Caleb Edwards, I think he was like just barely a 4-star guy. Go out west and get him. I think he's got some potential to end up being a good football player. So, Dejon Lee and some of those other guys a little bit harder because they were like top 5-star guys. So it's hard to necessarily say, like, was it great development or was it, we did a really good job recruiting a really good player? Probably a little bit of both here. But I will say they've shown signs of it. It just needs to be a little bit more consistent. And I think I think what you said is very fair, but I think there's, you got to look at it from both ends, right? But good stuff. One more super chat we got to hit real quick. My guy Brandon from DC with the $10 super chat. He says, building relationships, facing adversity, and development are traits that are being lost. These high schoolers will learn the negative implications when experience and production leads to the dollars. I mean, that's spot on, man. I mean, yep. It's unfortunate that we've gone away from that, like the whole relationship building, and adversity is a big one. And I think one thing about the transfer portal is it teaches the opposite. I mean, when guys even sniff adversity, they're hitting the portal. And I've also said this, to be fair, man, it's not all, just like we had that big conversation over Christmas and we were chopping it up. It's not all of the players. You got a lot of parents, coaches, and representatives or quote unquote agents, people that probably aren't even legally supposed to be doing that are telling these guys bad information, telling these guys, oh man, they told you when you were getting recruited, you were going to be this. Nah, man, let's go do this. We can get paid this. You know what I mean? So it's hard to fault the players in a lot of this too, because I know what they're dealing with and the type of people that they have breathing down their necks, telling them, oh, you need to do this, give them faulty information. They end up going in the portal, going to a school, then it doesn't even really work out like that. Because you said it best too. There's a lot of guys that there's a reason they're in the portal. And these coaches know that. These coaches aren't dumb. These coaches are like, there's going to be a couple guys that, all right, man, they got a real deep room right there. It is what it is. But majority of the time, these coaches are sitting there wondering, all right, why didn't you play at LSU? Why didn't you play at Georgia Tech? Why weren't you, you were there 2 years. Why didn't you get on the field? These coaches understand it. Just like for Alabama, there's 80% of these players that are in the portal right now that didn't really play much over the first 2 years, normally there's probably a reason. You know, they're depth guys for a reason. That's not disrespect. That's just the bottom line. It's the truth. So, really good stuff. Brandon, thank you so much. Ron, seriously, thank you guys so much for the super chats and support. We appreciate you guys. Chat is going crazy. There's a bunch of comments and stuff I want to get to at some point. But first, we got to go to the phone lines. But even before that, we got to hit a quick timeout to stay on schedule. When we come back, we're going straight to the phone lines. I promise. We got Smitty up first. We'll hit him. We got Raymond. We got Digger. And we got Chris. All those fine gentlemen on the phone lines are going to go to you when we come back right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. That's right. Thank you, King Mario. I like that name. Simmons, that was the other one I was missing, the defensive tackle. They got him to come camp here. They saw him in person. They said, hey, man, this kid, he's got potential. He's being overlooked. These services with all the star rankings, they're missing this guy. Sure enough, he's a ball player, right? So, and that's what I'm saying. That's credit to Freddie Roach and Jamie doing a good job with him. You know, so that's what I'm saying. They've shown signs that some of these guys that they evaluate, recruit, and bring in and develop were having success. But I do think, you know, if you're talking about over the last couple years, and I mean, it's still, to me, it's still really early to give a final verdict on the new staff right now. Going after year 3, I think I'll be able to give even more of a concrete opinion on a lot of that stuff. Real quick, I want to bring this up while we're on a break because Lord knows I'm tired, boss. I mean, cue in the Popeyes staffer outside with their head in her hands because she just can't do it no more. Lord knows that's me right now, having to keep waging on this fight, trying to teach people defense in the game of football. I promise, man, I've been like saying this. It's not even an argument, man. I've been trying to teach this basic fundamental lesson of the game of football, specifically defensively, for over 2 years now, ever since we hired Kane Womack with this whole 4-2 nickel, all this crap that people just will not just listen or not even just listen. Forget that. Open your damn eyes. I even put graphics this time because people obviously don't like to take the time to read a tweet that takes 10 seconds to read. I put the freaking graphics up, man. So just read the graphics, right? Please. And I know it's not our listeners, it's other folks. But guys,
what are you talking about? I ain't paying attention.
This is what I'm talking about. And again, shout out to Marquise Mays, man. He's a former player here, man. He's a great player here. And you know me, B-Side 5, man. Always respect all our guys, man. So again, with all due respect, because it started with this tweet, which he's tweeted this a number of times. And he made a typo, right? So we're not going to be funny here. I know he made a typo. He meant 4-2-5, but he says, you can't stop the run in the 3-2-5 meant 4-2-5 defense. 1 million exclamation points. I hate whoever invented that crap. 1 million exclamation points. I'm not arguing with nobody about that. I've seen enough of it the past 2 years to know that blank don't work in the SEC. 1 million exclamation points. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, because I've had to respond before because I'm sick and tired of people like spreading false information. Like, this is my purpose on this platform, to teach the game of football. We're trying to weed out this stuff. We're trying to develop ball knowers. And it drives me nuts because now this is coming from a former player that's spreading this, man. It's not accurate. Again, I've said this for
because you played up, but I mean, you know the game.
100%. He played wide receiver, so I understand that. Like, I'm
not. It don't even matter, but
I
mean, because you played, you can be a dumb football player. I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's a lot of people I know that played the game can't explain it to you and don't know it. They just knew what they did. They don't know the concept of everything else. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, so let me just say this real quick. Listen, the whole deal about the 4-2-5, let me just break it down. 4-2-5 is, and we're not picking on Mays or nothing. There's no beef or nothing. I love for him to come on here, and I can hopefully explain and show him this. 4-2-5 is just nickel defense. Why are we playing nickel? And not just us. Why is every single person, go back and watch Ole Miss, play nickel like the whole game. Miami, play nickel. Why do teams play nickel? Why do you not see the 3-4, which I love? I'm a 3-4 outside linebacker. Why don't you really see that no more? Why don't you really see the 4-3 like that? Because it's about matching personnel. Football is not what many of you guys or whoever, you know, what you guys did in Pee-wee, middle school, or even high school, where you're just, and I'm not making fun of people, I'm just being honest. That is different than like real life, college level, even high school nowadays type football. It does not work like that. You don't just spam 3 or 4 calls and just line up and play cover 2, cover 3, cover 1, and everybody just stay with the same personnel group in the whole game. That is not how football works. It's not. So if you have an offense that's coming out in 11 personnel, 1 back and 1 tight end and 3 wide receivers, you can't line up in a 3-4. Why? You're putting your outside linebacker at risk to be in a mismatch. That's a coordinator's dream. Just give him 7 points. Like it's not hard to understand, guys. It's not hard. You match personnel. If they're in 10 personnel, that's 1 back, 0 tight ends. How many receivers does that leave? 4 receivers. You want linebackers, 245, sometimes 265-pound outside backers covering a slot guy like Ryan Williams or Latia Brooks. Tell me how much sense that makes. Touchdown. That's what it makes. Like, come on, man. Like, it's not complicated. Oh, you can't stop the run in it, though. Really? Because Georgia's number 4 in the country in run defense and getting the mint front, which is what I played here with Coach Saban. I played the jack. What 7 is right here. That's a mint front. 4-eye, 0, 4-eye. It clogs the gaps. It keeps these backers clean, and you're playing with a 3-man front out of nickel. But they can't. Texas Tech, the number 1 rushing defense in the country, they base out of a 4-2-5, but you can't stop the run out of a nickel defense. What do you guys watch? When you watch TV and you're saying you can't, they're playing nickel all game long. Every team. Like, come on, guys. It's not hard. And I'm putting it in front of people's faces, and I still got idiots responding saying, oh, he's right. Look how we stopped the run this year. Here's a diagram. That's what a real diagram looks like if you've actually sat in a real football meeting. Those are the type of diagrams you get that actually break down what you're going to go and do out on the practice field. Same thing. It's a mint defense. Mint 4 mod, our staple call out of nickel. I played the jack. Simple concept. Cover 4. Playing mod. God damn, man. People are just like, it's hard-headed, bro. I'm like, how many times do I have to tweet this stuff, man? Make football great again. I'm going to make a hat, man. MAFA. Make football great again. Wait.
That's not right.
That's not right. Wait.
That'd be MFGA.
Wait. Mafaga. Now I sound as slow as some of these other people. Hold on. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. I just had some fun going on a rant. I promise I'm not serious. I'm just trying to – so my brother always tells me, he's like, you got to be a little more entertaining, man. You kind of just – it's even keel, just explaining stuff. So I'm trying to have some more juice, some more fire here on the show. And it helps when I got him on here because I feed off of him. But anyway, so yes, if you're wondering, why is Christian crashing out on the defense? I promise I'm not. I really care less about this. But it really, guys, I'm not going to lie. Like, all seriousness, though, it really is frustrating when you try to explain something over and over because I'm trying to educate people on the game of football, man, like how it really works. It's not what people are saying or seeing sitting on the couch. Like, listen, guys. For our radio listeners that are just hearing this, nickel defense is deployed to combat what you're seeing majority of these offenses line up in, which is 11 personnel. Even on first
nickel is made to stop the pass, but you're matching up against personnel. I mean, so right. It's like dime. If you go dime, that means you got 6 defensive backs. I mean, you're going to have 4 wide receivers, So, listen, it's all about matchups. Any coordinator, any football coach that knows anything is going to tell you that the game is about matchups. Now, I once said, because we did it at New York, we did play our 3-4 against 11 personnel at times. And the reason why we did that, because it depended on the distance, the yards and distances, right? If it was still considered a rundown, we would keep our regular in there because we could defend the run better. But most of the time, 99% of the time, 4-2-5, 3-3-5, whatever you want to call it. This right here, what you see what Georgia doing, could be looked upon as a 3-3-5, 3 true defensive linemen, as you can see right there. You got 7, 3, and 6 or more like linebackers, right? And you probably got a safety type out there on the slot somewhere. I mean, so however you want to spin it, it's the same thing because your jack can either be a defensive end or an outside linebacker. Yeah, you can call it what you want to call it.
And he's a hybrid, right? Because you can get to 4 down. This is an odd defense, and this is why – listen, this is basically playing a 3-4, but just with nickel personnel. Again, at the end of the day, it's about matching personnel, right? Like Tennessee, they are daring you to be dumb enough to go line up in true regular personnel so they can get an easy mismatch and it's going for 6. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all about matching.
Right, because they want to take that slot guy and they want to get him on a Sam backer, a true like I was. I was a Sam backer, and we motioned it. They motioned out the trip some kind of way. Then I got to line up on number 2. So that means the front has to slide. That means I slide. That means I got to move out to number 2. And now you're at a mismatch. Now you can get away with if you're playing zone because you just drop into a location and/or spot. But if you somehow get caught in man coverage, you're dead in the water. So you have to understand these things. Yeah.
No, and I was just going to say, I didn't mean to cut you off, but because I know we got to go to the phone lines. That is my point. It constricts you. No one's saying you can't. Sure, if you guys are just play Madden all the time and want to just go line up in regular base personnel against a true, blue offense, 11 personnel, yeah, you can. Like he said, you are restricted to only playing zone. Why? Because man coverage would have a 250-pound outside backer on a slot guy. It's not even.
They could be on number 10 from Miami because they move him around.
Yeah,
so
you could.
If you play man, that Sam would have to be man on that guy, and that's like
they would intentionally do that. It would be coaching malpractice. That's what I'm trying to say. So when I keep seeing people keep saying this, I'm like, it is the most ignorant thing when you I'm like, I have the diagrams right here. Like if you don't believe me, listen to Kirby Smart, who's a 2-time national championship winning head coach and did it as a coordinator too. Watch Georgia. Just watch Georgia. We don't play a whole bunch of men like that, but watch Georgia. I'm sure Ole Miss plays a good bit again. Just watch the game last night. I know you're going to immediately say, "Oh, well, see, they were a nickel. That's why they got gashed." No, they got gashed because they were out physical. It had nothing to do with it. Wasn't the scheme.
Yeah, and see, like this mint front, with the Giants, right?
It's a good front.
But with the Giants, we could play this front. I would be 7. LT would be normally the starter right there, right? Because now you're talking about this true nickel, right? So that would be 56. I would normally come out of the game, right?
Because why? But tell them why though.
Because they put a defensive back in there that's can cover, that's faster, quicker, and that type. So I would normally come out. So I would be right here. That would be normally in a regular defense. That would be me. I'm going to go to the two receiver side, which is the passing strength. So you have to define the strength here. Sometimes people go to the run strength. When it's regular personnel, we go to the run strength. That's normally to the tight end side. But when you open like this, right, I'm going to go to the passing strength, which would be the 2 receiver side. So now I got to walk. Right, so now I got to come up out of that box, which is outside that tackle box. Now I got to go where the mod is. I know people on the radio can't see this, but my point is, that's the difference. Now, what would happen is when we face teams like this, if they like back when I played, we didn't play a ton of 11 personnel unless it was obvious passing situations. But if they did, when we played the old Houston Oilers or the Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly and those guys, that kind of offense, they did it a lot back then. Then I played more, man. LT became the same position guy, which we count outside linebacker / defensive end. So number 7, so LT and I will rotate. Now, if we went to even fronts, now I can stay in, and then I moved down to the defensive end because I was big and strong enough I could play that position. We saw this. Here's a prime example where Will Anderson would move down and play that end position. And now I could do that because I was more physical, bigger, stronger, and I can play the run in there. He couldn't. So therefore, we would show you regular sometimes, depending on our front, right? It was still a 3-4, but I basically would become that extra defensive end because I could do that. If that makes sense.
100%. And I'll just to put a bow on it. Listen, and then this graphic is perfect because, like you said, so this star, right? That's the position. A Sam and a star are just interchangeable. It's just
same
personnel.
Player.
It's the same player, but different personnel. And this is exactly why. Because like he said, when we both played the same position, we both played Sam. I played Sam. He played Sam. That means we would be walking out on number 2. Go watch Miami. Who do you think they would put right there? So they would put 10 right there all day long. And that would force us not only to cover, but also play in space. We're not naturally going to want to play in space like a small nickel corner would like to do. So that's why you change it. But then he even built off of that, depending on the personnel. Normally, like me and Anthony, we just played the jack when we went to nickel. We would rotate, and Terrell. But as you saw the development, they liked Will Anderson enough that they couldn't keep him off the field. So what they do, all right, boom, we're going to kick him to that end, and we can bring Dallas Turner to play the jack. So now we're still playing nickel, but we still have 2 outside backers in, but one is able to play in the 4-eye, even though he was still out of place. but it still allows us to have 5 defensive backs on the field to cover, right, all the receivers and the routes that we're getting on the back end, because that is a much better matchup than Will Anderson in the slot. End of story. I'm not arguing that anymore. There's no argument. I'm not explaining it anymore. If anybody ever asks y'all about nickel defense, can you stop the run? Yes, you can. It's more about actually understanding, yes, if you're going to go to nickel, this is why they came up with the mint defense. Kirby and Coach Saban, this is why, because they knew teams were going to 11 and then trying to run the football. But what they had to figure out was, all right, what are some things we can do to mitigate some of that, like the weakness of the run defense in nickel? Mint defense. It's a tight front, 4-eye, 0, 4-eye, clogs up those gaps, keep those backers clean, and then it just helps you contain the run a lot better, even though you're in nickel. And there's other things you can do too. There's stings, there's things checks that you can get to that are bringing a guy, from the boundary. You know what I mean? Because you got a little bit less space to work with there, so you're not threatened as much, and you can be a little bit more aggressive. There's so many things you can do out of this that people just don't know or don't even care to look up or ask. And they just run with this whole idea that, we're having.
And just if you want to talk about the nickel. Real quick, I know you got the phone, but if you look at this, right, so you put the lines right there to show you what that's their gap. When we talk about gap integrity, gap control, you see that defensive end right there. He's a B gap player. The nose going to be an A. Right, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have to play both 2 gap. That's what that means, that he's responsible for both sides of the A. That the Jack now is a C gap player, basically, right? Because he's over there. And then your mod, your star, is out there in space, right? He's gonna have to be a run support, what we call. He's gonna have to make everything play inside, make it turn inside. Right, we call it backer force back when we played. So maybe you call it mod force. And these backers can scrape. Now they on a rope, so to speak. The M, and then right that dollar right there. Once it's a play side, that dollar right there, he can sit there and play A gap right there. If it flows away, he's got backside, and he can check and he can scrape. Same thing for the M. So all these things can change based on what they're doing. And then based on nickel today, they run a lot of options, run pass options. It makes it hard sometimes because now you're talking about discipline and responsibility, who's got a quarterback, who's got dive. All these things make you play sometimes a little bit slower. That's what makes it more difficult, because now they run in there, they hold that ball in the pocket of the running back, quarterback keeps it, he runs down the line of scrimmage, then he throws it. So it's hard to play defense the way they allow offense to play right now. And teams need to understand that it's hard to be a very good defense, like Alabama used to be. It's hard because the system don't allow defenses to play at that level, because people want to see points. They want to see, deep throw. They want to see all this stuff. That's what makes the game fun. So I'll shut up right there.
No, you're good. Yeah, Chase, send us to break, because I know I just went way out. I was supposed to go to the phone lines. I promise. When we come back, we're going to the phone lines. I promise you we're going to the phone lines immediately when we come back, right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC just had to teach that lesson real quick because it came up yesterday. We got it done. Everybody's good. Class is dismissed. We'll go to the phone lines when we come back right here. Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC. Phil with the $5 super chat. He says, great content, great passion. Great to hear, Pastor. Great show. MFGA. That's right. I don't really flow well, but we'll figure it out, man. Make football great again, man. Thank you so much, Phil. Seriously. Is that our defense? So no. So that was our defense under Coach Saban. This is Georgia's defense, aka Coach Saban's. Again, all love to Marquise Mays. I want to be clear, right? Like, I know I'm getting passionate. I'm joking around and explaining all this, but it's not so much him. It's just really like so many times I'm seeing this, and it's just, as a defensive guy myself, like, it's frustrating because it's just inaccurate. And my goal on this platform is to educate about the game of football. Just like, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm not an expert on route running. Like, I know enough because I played the game, but I would always trust, his judgment way more than mine. He played wide receiver, so I'm just saying, I lived this for 5 years under Coach Saban, man. So like, I'm telling you, like, I know it's like the back of my hand. Nickel can stop the run, and you have no choice. The problem is you have to find a way to, because it's about matching personnel. Like my dad said, run regular if you want, but you are going to be constricted to only doing so many different things. Because if not, that star on that diagram would be a Sam Backer. That star would be like putting Jan Zapier out there over and over. And tell me, if you got Tony in that slot, tell me what you're going to call as defensive coordinator. Hardly can call it. You only can call zone. And I'm telling you right now, these offensive coordinators, guys, are way too smart. Like these coordinators would eat that. We would get blown out. And you think that means you stop the run so much better, but look what happens. The only benefit you have is, okay, you got a big linebacker that can go bully the guy and run support, but everything else in the box is the same. That's what I'm saying. So here's the next step. This is why these big nickel cornerbacks like Missouri has, these guys are like they're vital. Because if you can get a guy like that you can run with in nickel, he offers a physical presence in nickel. You know, you can get you like a 215-pound, nickel that's physical, but he can also run and cover. I mean, those guys are like premiums now. You're seeing a lot more in the NFL, So just know, guys, I mean, football is way more in depth than what anything you pretty much even the way I talk about it. I'm telling you right now, if you go sit in a meeting with Vic Fangio, it's gonna make me sound like I know I'm surface level. Football is way more than what people think. Can you comment on if DeVore will modify our offense for the SEC or continue to find guys that will fit his system? Great question. I mean, that's a question you got to ask him. I can't, I can't speak on, his philosophy or what he plans to do.
Well, the answer would be he better.
Yeah. I was about to say, I mean, I think what he needs to do is establish a running game. And I've preached on this, and I'm serious about this. I don't care how much we like to throw the ball. It only works for so long. And we figured that out this year. And that's why I kept saying, hey, our offense looks great right now, but we're one-dimensional. It's only a matter of time. We got to find a running game. And a lot of fans were just excited by seeing the success we were having with Ty. And they were like, oh, man, yeah, well, thank God. Milroe used to run all the time. Now we're throwing it. And I just kept saying, man, it's only going to last so long. So you got to change your philosophy, man. Your philosophy has to be, we have to stubbornly run the football. You know what I mean? Like, you have to commit to it. And you got to get people that fit what you're trying to do. So we'll see. I mean, I know they're not dumb. Like these coaches, they get paid a lot of money. They know they need to find a way to run the football. They were trying, at least it seemed like it, but they get away from it too quick, which it's hard to blame them because we could not figure it out to save our lives. I don't
is
know why,
Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back. Free for All Friday. You guys already know the drill. I'm not going to waste any more time. To the phone lines we go, 205-342-9904. We got Smitty up next. If you guys like that lesson, man, hit that like button. I got to remind you guys. All right, Smitty, welcome in. Talk to me, man. Sorry about that.
Gentlemen, how's it going, gentlemen?
It's good,
Smitty.
man.
Hey, first thing first, I thought about your dad. My lady, she's a city gal from Phoenix, where I'm at, right? So had to make us a fish, some products of fish for her, right? Got some black-eyed peas, some cornbread, some collards, and macaroni and cheese baked in the oven. Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, she was like, "Wait, how you learn how to do this?" I'm from the South. But anyway, I'll say this: if you eat your macaroni and cheese on the stove top and not the oven, I don't want you on my team. But anyway, but here's the thing. All these people panicking about supposedly striking out. How can you strike out if you never got to the plate to swing the bat? And you got to remember also, a lot of these people ain't dealing with real agents. They're dealing with mama, boyfriend, or the Uncle Jimmy or somebody, like homeboy from school. They're not real agents. Let's just be real here. If they were real agents, they would be messing up the money. But you guys play in the league. How would y'all feel if your team spent a big bag on someone in your position, more money from you, and they never even visit the facility?
100.
Yeah, because think about this. That Pete guy, for example, never visited campus, not mad at him. Hey, they offer you that. How are you going to justify paying him more than Michael Carroll, who's freshman All-American, who's on your squad?
You can't really justify. You can't really justify it, but unfortunately, Smitty, I mean, you ain't really got a choice, brother. And I'll be honest with you, you're kind of onto something. You wonder why some of these guys get a little frustrated and end up leaving. You don't think these players kind of feel like that? They watch you bring other
Yeah,
people
because
in.
that's why. But because that's why they got locker room issues. That's what I'm telling you, because they know, and these kids are talking about what they're making, right? So it's not like there's some confidentiality in who's making what. So if Michael Carroll is underpaid and he bringing this guy he's been there working, he's done everything you ask him to do, he's showing up at the workouts, he's busting his tail, then you go out and pay some dude a lot more money, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be division in the locker room. And I will say this. I think there's division in that locker room. And I know, and I can tell when there's division on a football team. And what I saw with Alabama and Indiana, that told me that there was something going on internally in that locker room. There was no effort there. Guys have shut down. Guys did not care. And I'm telling you, it's because of this whole situation with money. Who's getting a certain amount of money? And then these coaches now are forced to play certain guys and taking away reps. It's obvious. I know this because I know a lot of college coaches, and I know it's happening in SEC and ACC locker rooms because I talk to these coaches, and this is a major problem. And if you can't handle that, and if you're not able to bring synergy amongst your locker room, it is showing on the field, and that's the problem.
Yeah, you know what? Georgia is not going to bidding wars. Ohio State, they may let that freshman running back go. He asked for too much money. Texas, there's a story out that Texas is drawing a line on paying all this money because they made a mistake and made themselves known to school with the dollars. you know, and I think what happens is the problem with me is not even the money. It's the transferring multiple times for immediate eligibility. We're gonna have guys going to 3 separate homecomings in the same year coming up. And to me, that's the big issue. If people want to talk about coaches, but coaches have to pay a buyout if they leave. Lane Kiffin had to pay Ole Miss money. I know LSU did it for him, but you get what I'm saying. And I think, like you guys said, it's production-based business. And what's happening also, a lot of bad players to get money. Because I remember Nebraska fans when they took Elijah Pritchard. Elijah Pritchard got $7 figures. And you look on Twitter, they dog cussing them. All you have to do is turn on the film sometimes. And I think a lot of these coaches don't even turn up the film. I think, because you mean to tell me some of these players get 7 figures, and you got people on your team who worked all season, and you won't even give them a raise, of course they're going to transfer. And I can't get mad at them for not landing players who ain't come to campus, because in the NFL, 9 times out of 10, they're at your facility meeting you first before they sign you. They're going to work you out, get your medicals, all that stuff. They're going to see you first. So why spend money on the sight unseen? And I think that's what fans got to understand. And the last thing is, gentlemen, because you got other people, I think college football, you go be like the NFL where you have a lot of young guys playing super early now. And I think so, because look at Alabama, they're going to be really young. You may see Georgia being young or Ohio State. And I just hope everybody don't try to go to Indiana model where they got a bunch of guys with kids are in kindergarten and they off their mama and daddy's insurance, and now they so old. That ain't gonna work all the time. That is like I said, lightning in a bottle thing. Because you gotta have those guys were his guys who were bought in for years. Now you may start bringing in guys who may not be as bought in, who's mercenaries, who could bounce, who don't have a connection with you. And I think that's the thing right there. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to start seeing schools stop paying all this money because you're still depending on boosters and people giving money out of their pockets with no return on investment.
Right.
How long will they keep doing that? And that's the thing people miss.
Well,
because after you get tired of it.
Yeah, I'll just say this, Smitty. The only issue is, man, you're at a point where you got to have a balance, right? I mean, you can't over rely on the players that you do have, because then you're, like you just said, you're matched up against teams that do have a bunch of 22 and 23-year-olds with a bunch of experience going against your young guys who are good players. They're just not quite there yet. So unfortunately, it's almost like, man, you got to kind of cave in and say, hey, look, we got to do it too now, or else we're going to get left behind. Now, maybe, a couple years down the road, or at least maybe you say for a couple years, but hey, when these guys, when they're juniors and seniors, we're in much better shape. But here's the problem with that. They might leave. What are the odds that they're even going to be there in 3 or 4 years? So unfortunately, it all circles back to what my dad was saying and why it's so frustrating, because it is what it is at this point. Like, that's what college football has turned to. I mean, you can't even rely on the recruitment and development of players, because what is the retain rate? I mean, honestly, I'm genuinely curious, like, what the percentage of guys that actually stick with the school they sign with all through college at this point. I would argue it maybe is 25%. Maybe 25% of recruits stick with the school they sign with. And I think that's probably on the high end. I could be totally wrong, but we're going to ask ChatGPT after we could take a quick time out. Smitty, I appreciate it, man. Oh, go ahead, real quick.
You guys have a good – I'll say this real quick. You made a point about looking at tape. I remember you were saying there was another recruit Alabama was looking at pass rusher who had better tape than Tank Jones. Just remember, these people who make these ratings don't play ball. They don't understand assignment football and technique. You know, ask the people who watch the tape and know what they're looking at. But hey, you guys have a great weekend. Keep up the great work as always.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Smitty. Let's see if we can get Raymond on here real quick before we hit our next timeout. Raymond, is he still with us? Raymond?
Yeah, I'm still here. I want to say hello to, I call your dad Mr. Pop, Mr. Pastor Payne. I followed him in the NFL, and I still do now. But a lot of things he's saying is 100% true. But majority of players now, their mind is on, excuse me for saying, cars, jewelry, hair. And Alabama used to be focused mentally tough and physically tough. And until they return to that like Indiana, with that type focus, they won't make it back to the top. I was just wondering his opinion on that.
Yeah, his audio kind of just cut out for a second, so I think he's going to leave and then come back. But I'll make sure we ask him. But what I'll do is this, Raymond. We're going to go to break. I'll ask him when he leaves and joins back. I'll tell him to answer when we come back. Just make sure you keep listening, and you get to hear him answer. But I just want to make sure we stay on schedule because we got a number of calls to get to. But I'll tell you mine before we go to break. Listen, yeah, no problem. Yeah, of course, Raymond. I was going to say, in my opinion, it comes down to having balance with it. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that you 100% want to have these guys that you recruit, you bring in, develop, and they stick with you, and you have the guys with the right mindset. But unfortunately, it's becoming a space where you have no choice. But you're going to have to rely on some of those guys, kind of like you mentioned, guys that are in it for the money, guys that might be on a 1-year type deal. I wish it wasn't like that, but unfortunately, I don't see a way that you could return to being on top without having at least a couple of those guys, without having to rely on a couple of those guys. I agree with you. You definitely want to have it as few as possible, but in this day and age, I just don't see you doing it the old school traditional way. Like Clemson, look at Clemson with Dabo Swinney, who's trying to stick to that as long as he could, and look where that got him. I just unfortunately don't see that, and I hate that because this is the game that we all have known and loved, and it doesn't feel the same, like my dad said earlier. But unfortunately, if you want to keep up with everybody else, you have no choice but to go out there and get guys. Because at the end of the day, coaching is really important. Development is really important. Culture, all that. However, I would argue that one other thing that people overlook is the Jimmies and Joes. And if you don't have the guys, better luck next year, because you're seeing what happens when people go out there and go get some good players. But Raymond, really good question. He's about to hop back on here. I'll let him answer that. Just keep listening. But we're going to hit a timeout. That way we can get everybody in before we exit out of here. But thank you so much for calling, man. Thank you for being patient. Good deal. I think he already left early. All right, so we're going to hit a timeout. We come back. We'll go back to the phone lines. We'll keep on rocking and rolling right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Is that better?
Yeah, that's right. Your microphone. It wasn't me, but
it's a service. When you join, and I put you on stage, sometimes it does that. I don't know why, but I know I sound like a broken record, guys, but I'm trying to keep up with the like streak that we're doing. We hit like 200, 300 plus the last couple of days. So if you guys haven't, because we got 200 in here, I think we're at like 116, 117. If you guys wouldn't mind, just hit that real quick. It takes 2 seconds. Just hit that like button. If you guys are enjoying it, if you guys want more of it, and make sure you subscribe too. We're off on the weekends for anybody that's new, that's just tuning in. Weekends were off, but Monday through Friday, 11 to 1, we're live right here, bringing it to you. You ain't gonna find this anywhere else, man. Real, honest breakdowns. We break down game tape if you guys are into that. Man, I mean,
what did Raymond ask?
He was asking, what do you think about? He said he doesn't think Alabama can get back to prominence if they don't get away from the people focused on the money, jewelry, all that stuff. Basically, he thinks if we keep going that route, we'll never get back to where we want to go. And I was saying I agree with him, but I just was saying I think unfortunately you have no choice but to rely on you're going to have to rely on a few of those guys. Like you have to, because think about it. You can try to rely on your recruiting class, but what's the statistics of those guys still being around? Like we recruit well, and I would say if our guys year 3 and year 4 when they're juniors and seniors, if you could retain every single one of those guys, I would say don't worry about the transfer portal like that. We recruit well enough, and hopefully you could develop well enough. The problem is, tell me the percentage of how many of those guys actually stick with the school they signed with. I would be shocked if it was over 25%. Would be shocked. Justin said, Christian, I'll be honest, I'm worried no matter what, or no matter who we get in the portal. I don't think DeBoer is that hard-nosed coach that will have our team playing physical. You need a hard-nosed coach like Cristobal. Listen, I love Coach DeBoer. I think he's a good football coach, and I'm rooting for him. I want him to accomplish everything that he, not only him, but all of us would love for him to accomplish here at Alabama. However, I hate to say this, but I do wonder if his approach is the best fit here sometimes. And again, that's not a knock on him. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way whatsoever. Just knowing this program, and hell, I'm being here, right? I mean, I'm heavily involved, right, around Alabama and all that stuff. Sometimes, not like on the staff or anything. I mean, with media, yes, but what I'm getting at is, I'm still waiting to see if his style can, fully reach the potential of. Does that make sense? Get out all of the potential here. I wonder that too sometimes. Just being completely honest with you. I'm trying to say that in the most respectful way possible because I don't want it to seem negative. It's just me being honest. I mean, I just know what this program was built off of and the type of players that we have and we bring in. I think that is a little bit better of a fit. I'm not saying he can't have success doing it his way, right? Because I mean, he's shown that. But Alabama is just a lot different than a lot of other places. So I don't think you're wrong with that assumption. Welcome back into this Free For All Friday, right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. I highly doubt Digger's still on the phone. Digger doesn't have that patience.
I am.
No,
Digger,
you're still here. Oh man, Digger, what happened to you, man? Where you been at?
I'm waiting on a dishwasher to be delivered to my house. Picture this. I'm being dead serious. My wife, she gets in her car and this was at lunchtime about an hour ago. She sticks her head out now. She's driving a Mercedes. I didn't pay for it. Her daddy did. Sticks her head out the window of a Mercedes and said, make sure the house is clean after they leave. I said, what? Yeah. Think about
Did you tell her to make sure she got a sandwich ready for you?
No, we don't know. No, we don't do that on
buddy,
come on,
my wife,
Jesus,
listen,
Chase.
my wife is a good cook, and I know better. Buddy, I want a good meal. I do not tempt her with that kind of talk. Holy cow.
That is inappropriate talk. Quick. Don't do that, Digger. Go ahead.
Trust me, I know better. Listen. I don't know who was on the phone and said there's a pro ball in college football now. Are you kidding me? What? It's been pro for decades.
No.
Don't give me that nonsense. They weren't getting paid before.
Digger, it's totally different,
Whether it's
man.
Jeremy Pruitt and a $500 McDonald's bag.
Oh, that's $500, Digger. It's not the. It is not the same. That is
totally
guys.
different than $5 million. Like Texas paid that quarterback, brother. $5 million for 1 year from Texas Tech to a quarterback out of the transfer portal, brother. Even if it was 5,000 racks in that McDonald's bag with a Big Mac on the side, not even close.
What you need to know, that's a 2-year deal. That's not a 1-year deal. Now, keep in mind, what was your highest paid player on Alabama's team this year? No secret. You can tell me.
Probably Ryan Williams.
Right. Was he worth every penny?
No.
Come on. No, that's exactly my point. No,
it's kind of like your quarterback that's getting $8 million. He ain't worth $500,000. You giving him $8 million.
Yeah, get off Ryan, man. Don't be talking about Ryan like that.
I'm not bad.
I'm talking about the Manning. I'm talking about the Manning quarterback at Texas.
No, I know you. I'm talking about Dick.
And look, he gave up some money so he can get more players in there, and it's not working out. Okay,
but that's what they do in the pros. Look at him. He's already taking the pro approach. That sounds like a pro quarterback to me.
Right.
Taking a pay cut in college. Get more players.
Exactly. Now, keep this in mind, and I'm being dead serious about this. Come on. If you show results on the field, you'll get your money. Okay? And we're all grasping at straws to get the talent just on potential alone. Okay? Look at the teams that are left in the playoff now. 40% of the teams are through the portal. Indiana, Miami, Ole Miss was doing it. Okay? So, come on. It's no secret. That's the way you got to do it now. You can't rely on good old high school recruiting and development because you don't even know if you're going to have your coach the next year.
Oh, come on.
And I'm telling you, the coaches are feeling the heat too. Come on, you got to be serious about that.
I agree with Dick on that. I agree with you, Digger. I don't agree with you much, but I do right there.
No, listen. I'm just saying I don't want to jump the gun here. No, I'm not dumb. I understand. Like the expectations here. Coach Saban just said it on game day. I don't think anybody's going. We're not surprised anybody. Like, yes, making the what do you call this? The Elite Eight, the Final Eight. Like, it's good, but the standard here at Alabama, we all know it's through the roof. And then the losing in the fashion in which we lost. That definitely probably warmed things up a little bit. I'm not saying no hot seat. I want to be clear. I'm not trying to get ostracized here. I'm not saying he's on a hot seat, but there's probably a little bit more pressure than there would have been had we not lost in that fashion.
Some of them players at the Alabama locker room should have been getting EBT cards instead of contracts.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
That's true, but look, hey. Oh, man.
But Digger, hold on, Digger. You get too much of a kick out of that now. Hold on now.
I did. I thought that was funny. But come on, man. I mean, when you're getting everything you asked for, and my question is what is the SEC going to do about the Big Ten and this $150,000 buyout? Did you hear that story?
No.
Every player in the Big Ten has to pay $150,000 if you leave the country. That's a buyout. Every player in the Big Ten's doing that.
If they break their contract.
He's not doing that.
Well, I mean,
okay.
I like it. I like it.
I help people stay put.
I like it because them kids are going to want to pay 150 G's.
It's not them though. It's going to be other schools or agencies like that. Yeah, it ain't going to be them kids. Them kids ain't. I don't even know if these kids realize they got to pay taxes, even though they're 1099 independent workers. Oh, brother.
Well, I know this. We had a couple of offensive linemen out of Michigan make the ultimate decision to stay in put because they didn't want to pay that $150,000 buyout. Okay? And it's all in agreement with the Big Ten. And you know why they did that? Because Fox asked them to do it to make sure they keep the talent in the conference.
Wow.
Very interesting. I'll let you go.
Yeah, I got to look into
good
that.
Stuff, Digger.
Yeah, really good stuff. Always a pleasure, man. Always entertaining. If you got left stranded on the phone lines, I sincerely apologize. I promise. I tried to get through as many as we could, but we do got to make room for Wyatt. But
let me say this: I got to get out of here. You give them players an EBT card, and if they play good, you put money on the card. They can have a little bit more. If they play bad, you deduct. That's what they do. Give them a little card. Give them Bama Bucks, whatever they call it, a Bama Bucks EBT card. And when they play like they did with Indiana, you know what? Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Go do title for cash and get you some money to buy a pizza. That's what they got to do.
Oh, brother, this has been a fun. It's called Free for All Friday for a reason. We're going to get out of here on the radio side of things. I'm going to hang out on the stream for a little bit. If there's any film we need to pull up real quick. And
I'm out. I gotta go.
He's out. That'll do it for the Pastor Pay. Myself, Chase behind the glass. Appreciate you guys. Seriously, all our listeners, Tide 100.9, the app, WTBC, all that good stuff. Tide 100.9, you guys rock. Looking forward to doing it on Monday right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
You've been listening to the Miller's Edge, tackling sports daily.
All right. I'm still on the stream. Hey, Chase, good stuff, man. Seriously, thank you so much for everything behind the glass. I'm going to hang out here on stream. Again, I don't know whose tape we're going to break down today because we kind of missed on some of those guys we've been talking about. But if there's any questions that I missed that you guys want me to hit real quick or any tape that we should pull up, shoot them because I got about 30 minutes of overtime for today. I don't know if it looks like he's behind the stage or whatever. I don't know if he left or not, but did that make sense at least on the whole 4-2-5 thing? Were you guys picking up what I was putting down with that? Or do you guys have any follow-up questions on that? I just want to make sure we really hammer that. So next time you guys, I'm just going to have disciples for me. That way I don't have to keep explaining. I don't have to do the fight. You guys can lead the charge. When people are spreading false information, man. You're not very impressed by anyone we brought? Well, I'll say this. Just to recap, we did pick up a punter, by the way. So it sounds like us here on the Miller's Edge, we know a thing or two because if you look at our list of top priorities, which I'm going to pull it back on the screen, put it back up here real quick. Where are we at? Here we go. Seems to me like we've been pretty spot on with our list. Now, again, we put this out on January 4th, 5 days ago. So we said all O-line, all positions, already got a center/guard, aiming for a tackle. We picked up a linebacker with experience. We picked up that immediate impact running back. I said special teams, punter/place kicker. Now, we didn't do the place kicker yet. We'll see on that one, but we did just sign a punter and a long snapper as well. We said D-line. We got a young man out of Southern Cal. And we said wide receiver depth. An honorary mention, I think, was tight end, right? I don't know if I got to squeeze that on there. I think I ran out of space, but we've got a wide receiver on a visit. So sounds like we know a thing or two around here. Shocker. People were in the comments making guarantees we're getting peaks, you mean? Tia, now that you're in here, you always run in here when we wrap things up on radio. I tried to tell you, honey, this ain't recruiting. I wish it was. If it was, hell, I love Miss Ashley and all the fine folks in there in that recruiting department. But guess what? This is a different ball game. I tried to say that, and I had some guy responded on Twitter like, oh, but the relationships, they still matter. They mean something. And these young men who are looking for 7-figure checks, Suburbans, Escalades, and a whole bunch of diamond grills and chains. And I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy. Tell yourself that if that makes you feel better. Yeah, that's exactly what they're aiming for, man. Those good old relationships, man. When another school is offering them $1 million, $1 million a vehicle, a nice condo to stay downtown with a nice view. Yeah, man. But those relationships are so important, man. Come on, guys. Well, we got to be honest here, man. Let's be honest. Let's practice honesty. Can't build a relationship on FaceTime and Zoom. And I mean, you can start one. I guess, but that's why I said, man, you just got to be realistic with this stuff. I think the quicker fans just accept, right, that listen, we're in a day and age where money and playing time, just call it PTP. That's all that matters. Playing time and payments. PTP. When it comes to transfer portal, PTP. Playing time and payments. That's what they care about. And I hate to say it like this, but we can offer some playing time for sure. We got the PT covered. But in terms of payments, like we're just, I'm not saying we don't have it. I'm just telling you guys. I'm telling you from what I know. From all the people that I know in this business. Think about all the people that I had as coaches that I play with that are coaches across the whole country. I know a lot of folks in the space. I'm telling you guys what I know. It's just the reality of it, man. So we'll see if the philosophy shifts a little bit, though. I mean, I wonder. I mean, maybe missing on some of these guys ends up turning up the heat. But again, I know what my dad says, and I agree with some of it. But I'm just telling you guys, you still need to be patient. That said, still be patient. You never know. Because there are going to be some guys that might not be in there right now that jump in there. Because people are working channels. I'm telling you, there's still people still trying to recruit guys to jump in the portal that haven't gone in the portal yet. But I'll be honest, I'm still trying to wrap my head around, like a guy like Horton. That one's still confused. We didn't even talk about that too much, but that one is interesting to me. And listen, I know some people thought it's a big loss. Other people say, "Oh no, it's not that big." Whoops, whoa. All right, that was weird. From my perspective, I think it is a decent loss. I don't like it. Here's my thing, guys. I don't like when people I try to stay just honest and I'm a straight shooter. I just call it out. I call it even. I don't like when people minimize stuff that actually is a pretty big loss, but also don't like when people like overdo it and make it seem like it's like, irreversible or like unfixable, or somebody's irreplaceable. You know what I mean? I think you just have to just look at it from a level head. Take emotions out of this. I'm telling you guys. I mean, shit's almost like the stock market. I can't help it, guys. I invest a lot. You have to take your emotions out of it. You got to be level headed. You just got to look at it for what it is. Like, it's a big loss to lose a veteran wide receiver in that room, who he had solid production this past year. That is a big loss. Even more so just on the experience part. Now the room is led by Ryan Williams, who's a young guy. Even though I know he's going on year 3, he's still young. Latsier Brooks, young player. Rico Scott, young player who doesn't have even a ton, he don't have a ton of experience. He played. Derek Meadows, young guy. Cedarius Morgan, really young guy. So to make it seem like Horton leaving is like not a loss, like that's just people lying to themselves. It's a loss. Now, is it like the end of the world? No. I mean, you still got a lot of talent in that room, but I think it's more so on the fact that he had experience. He's a veteran. Like, that's important. You need guys like that in the room. And he was already here a year. Like, could you go bring in a vet receiver? Because the guy that we watched yesterday, who I think somebody said he ran a 4.2. I was like, I know he looked fast on tape, but I mean, if that's the case, that's a fast dude. Really good hands, making all types of contested acrobatic catches. I think he's a stud. But he's a redshirt freshman. He's young, So now you're talking about a receiver room with not much true leadership. Like, who's going to be the real leader in that room? Like, just think about it. Now that Horton left, who is going to be the vet, like the guy that kind of takes charge? I mean, you would assume Ryan Williams, but I'm not trying to be funny. But Ryan, he kind of seems more like he doesn't come off to me like Jeremy or Horton in terms of like being the guy to say, "Oh, I'm the leader." He's going to have to now, but I don't think that's really like his personality like that. Tia said Ryan Williams is the leader in that room. I mean, Tia, you're just talking out of bias. You're telling me he was the leader in that room this past year? Come on, Tia. Tia, again, man, take the emotions out of it. Please, man. Again, this show is a factual show. We speak facts, man. I love Ryan. Great young man. Great young man. I enjoy chopping up with him from time to time. But he was not the leader in that room. But he is going to be now for sure. Jeremy Bernard would have been the leader in that room, in my opinion, last year. Somebody said Cam Coleman. If we got $3 million, it could be. Let you troll. Yeah, that's all. No, because you always come out here trying to troll. And the problem is, I know you're trolling. These other people might not know that. So I'm like, no, don't be doing that, because they're going to be like, oh, yeah, he is. I'm like, nah, Ryan's a little bit more, not to himself. I mean, he's, definitely a great teammate. But I'm just saying, like, you have to have that presence. Yeah, maybe Lottie. Look, somebody's going to have to. I mean, now that Horton left, I mean, he's the oldest, most experienced guy, if you include his experience at Miami. So, like I said, man, you just got to just call it for what it is. But talent-wise, I think we'll be okay. I mean, I don't think Horton leaves and you're like literally like, oh man, what are we going to do at that spot? No, I don't think it's that. It's more the experience piece. Oh, trust me, I know he's not getting $3 million from us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell these other folks that are like saying, oh, well, Horton left. That means we're definitely getting Coleman. And that is not what that means. If we cough up $2+ million, you might get Horton, or not Horton, excuse me, Coleman. But I just have a hard time believing if a guy is being offered that by schools like Texas, A&M, whoever else, and say we coughed up 1.5, I just have a hard time seeing a young man, and I don't even blame him, saying, "Oh, I'm going to take a pay cut of $1 million to go play at Alabama." Like, unless his lifelong dream was just to come here, but clearly that wasn't the case because he chose Auburn out of high school. Even if that was about money, still, even if his dream was to come here, it clearly wasn't that big of a dream because he chose Auburn coming out of high school. Nothing wrong with that. Again, I mean, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't see him coming here. That's why I want people to have realistic expectations. That's why I just try to shoot you guys straight. So you're not let down, you know? You want a receiver with that Steve Smith mentality. I don't know about mentality, but that dude from that small school whose tape with the highlights we saw yesterday, I mean, he looked like a dog at receiver, you know? Now, I don't know about like Steve Smith. That's the type of dude that'll, you know, literally beat his teammate up in the locker room. I don't know if there's many of those dudes out there, but are we sure Texas is giving Coleman $3 million? From what I've heard of people that have kind of been hearing some numbers flying around, I mean, I've heard anything ranging from 2 to 3 in that range. But the thing is, at the end of the day, sometimes these numbers are inflated. Sometimes these numbers are just numbers. They're made up. That's the other problem. These kids, what they do is these agents, I should say, let me stop putting on the kids, not them. These agents, they go from one place to another, and they're like, oh, well, you know, X school is offering us this housing situation. They're offering us this, that, and the third, and they go to the next school, right? I mean, it's a great negotiating tactic. I use it all the time in the car world. When I'm buying cars, I do it all the time. If I got to trade in, I take a car, I go get a quote here, I go get it appraised here, I go get it appraised here. And what do? I just take the prior appraisal and I keep bringing it to the next place to get a higher. Hey, if you guys need some game on buying cars, man, I got you. Here's some game I'll give you right now. Go get a number of appraisals and keep getting it bumped up. Say, hey, this place offered me this, right? You can do the same thing with working the price down. Go on Auto Trader, do a nationwide search, same vehicle, and try to find the lowest price possible. And just keep bringing that to different dealers. See who's willing to take a deal. That's what these guys are doing. That is good advice, by the way, for anybody trying to get a car. But that's what these kids are doing with these schools. And you know, the crazy thing is there's not really a way to guarantee it. Like, there's written contracts technically, like when they're signing stuff, but like initially there's not really a lot of this stuff, at least it was. It's probably a little bit better now because these schools are protecting themselves. A lot of it was all verbal. One even really like in writing, so you couldn't even guarantee stuff. You're going off of word of mouth. Well, the agent just told me Texas A&M is offering him $800,000. We don't have any physical proof of that, but we have to just trust his word if we really want this kid. That's the type of stuff that these GMs and coaching staffs and that's what they're dealing with, guys. Wish I knew that before I got my car. Hey, man. Well, you know it now, right? Just know that. I'm telling you guys, it works every time, man. I've gotten vehicles way marked down because of that. Don't ever just go on a dealership and just take what they give you. Then all they're going to try to do is tell you, "Oh, tell me what monthly payment are you comfortable with?" Don't answer that question. Only thing that matters is if you have a trade-in, what they're giving you for your car and the price of the next vehicle. The numbers will work themselves out. When they ask you that, they're just trying to find ways to manipulate the numbers, work with interest rates, all that stuff, so they can get you with the number that you want, but they'll still max out the profit that they're going to make. Don't listen. I should start a course on this, man. I've been buying and selling cars since I was 14. Dealerships hate me, man. They hate me. They hate me, dude. I walk them down every time. Not getting peak is all I needed to know about this. It falls in line. South Carolina, they're willing to pay a lot of money. They secured their quarterback to come back. I think Nick Harbor, their top receiver, the track star, Dylan Stewart, their edge guy. I mean, it's clear. Their priorities are they're going to pay a lot of money. You know, it's just every program has a different philosophy, man. You know, and to be fair, to Smitty's point, I mean, if a guy doesn't come visit, if he doesn't come on campus, like I know the title says striking out again, right? Again, you got to just put an interesting title to grab the audience. But I agree with him. It's hard to say like, oh man, we whiffed if we didn't even get that opportunity. But man, you got to fight for the first opportunity. That's part of the battle too. You got to get them here first. You know? That's how you got to deal on your Lexus. Smart man. Smart man. I'm telling you guys. I thought about starting a car broker at one point, but I don't know. I enjoy doing this right now. Let's see. Did I miss any questions? I'm sorry, I've been rambling. Did y'all ask me to pull up some tape of somebody? Was there another offensive lineman we could watch real quick? Was it Riker? Where does he play at, though? Because, I mean, some of these small schools, I don't know if I have access to their tape. Oh, we can't get dudes here is my point. Listen, it's tough to say because best believe the A still holds weight. It's just like I said, I think it holds a little bit more weight with recruiting. Texas State, let's look for it. The A just holds a little bit more weight with recruiting than it does transfer portal because, like I said, I mean PTP, playing time and payments. That's ultimately what matters, man. I'm not saying these guys don't want to meet the position coach and talk with him and blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. I mean, yes, that is a piece of it, right? They're not just going to blindly go commit somewhere just because of a check, but the reality is I mean the relationships is astronomically minimized in this situation. Let's pull this up. Let's see if we can find some Texas State. Just trying to take the crimson glasses off and look at reality. Hey, man, like I think that's the way. I know a lot of people like keeping those glasses on, man, because it makes us feel better. But at the end of the day, I mean, just got to call it for what it is. But like I said, that's why I don't wear crimson glasses, but I still try to paint things as positively as I can because I know it's good to take the glass off, but you ain't got to be so harsh with it either. And that's why I try to work on like my delivery, my presentation, because I don't ever want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but I also want to be honest. That way I can keep my credibility and to shoot you guys straight. There's a balance to it. Definitely a balance to it. Texas State. Oh, we do have it. All right, we got them versus Arizona State. God is good. I was a little worried. You guys know the drill. We're about to watch some tape. If you guys enjoy breakdowns, if you guys enjoy the content, you enjoy the channel, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's dive into it. What number is he, guys? Please, if you don't mind, help me out. Riker dude was a lean Bama yesterday, and all of a sudden today he's 90% Penn State. Huh? Saban won't help you out with your cars? Man, no. If anything, tell Coach Saban to sponsor the show. We got a title sponsor opening up. Why aren't we? We should be the Miller's Edge presented by, what is it, Mercedes of Birmingham? Mercedes-Benz of Birmingham? The Miller's Edge presented by Mercedes-Benz of Birmingham. That sounds pretty damn good, man. Y'all email Coach for me, man. I got his number, but he's too big time right now with his media, man. We need to get him on here. I really should ask him to try to come on here, but he really just busy, bro. I'm going to ask, though. Well, speaking of this, hold on. I just saw this clip. This is from Mike Rodak. While I pull up some of this information on this guy, he's talking about Alabama's roster spending. I don't know. This is, again, from Mike Rodak. I think he's a beat writer around here, but let's see what he had to say. I haven't heard this yet, but let's hear it.
Where does Alabama fall in regards to the money that they are spending on a roster?
I think somewhere in the middle is a safe place to put them, especially when you have, like I said, both of the Texas schools. I think most people would consider to be at the top. There's certainly money, I think, at places like Florida and Tennessee. There's other schools, and it depends on the player, depends on the year. I think Alabama is somewhere in the middle of the pack, maybe higher in the middle of the pack, if you will. They're definitely not at the top in terms of being able to just kind of write a check to anybody. And look, it's tough when you just don't have kind of the billionaire alumni that other schools might have, and it's always been more of a grassroots.
I just want to pause it. He is right about that. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they did say we don't have a billionaire donor like a lot of these other places. So kind of interesting, but what we do have is we have a brand that reaches globally, right? So I mean, think about how many millions of Alabama fans there are. We're going to have that advantage from that aspect. So a lot of people giving that definitely helps boost us up, but we don't have a Mark Cuban or one of those people that are just writing blank checks or handing out blank checks for the university. So he's right about that.
Roots effort, as Greg Byrne has referred to it as. And I think Alabama views itself as such a nationwide brand, and they are. And there's a ton of Alabama fans nationally, but it's that kind of top level of wealth is not there with a couple people that you can just continue to tap into. So it's always been more of a volume sort of deal in trying to get NIL. And obviously they really push their NIL website. I think when there's announcements that happen, whether it's Latzia Brooks resigning or, whether it's guys not going into the draft, I think we're going to hear pretty soon. Like, I think it's, potentially could be on their website, and they charge a subscription fee for that. And that's kind of one way of how they try to get money in. But it's not, let's call up the billionaire that went to our school and, you can give us a couple $1 million, right away. It's just they don't have access to that.
He is right. He's 100% right on that. So I guess that kind of puts into perspective a little bit, but still, listen, here's the thing. We have resources. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because I was under the assumption that I thought the new staff would be, because like with Coach Saban, I know he was very much like I'm telling you right now, he wasn't paying these dudes all that. But he also, this is before it really got out of hand, but he also knew like they were going off of, hey, we have elite talent development. This is the GOAT. This is the X amount of first rounders that we've developed. Guys that we have in the league, $1 billion in NFL contracts. That itself, I mean, you talk about guys taking pay cuts. They were taking pay cuts to come here. Then when he left, you kind of slowly lost that factor a little bit. So now it's kind of like can't rely on that as much. But then I thought we would start upping what we were paying, which I think we have a little bit. But it seems like it's still very much, I don't know. I wouldn't say restricted, but you get what I'm saying. We're not just kind of handing checks out like some of these other schools are doing, but I don't know. Let's see. And what number was this guy? Let me see if you said in the chat. What number is this guy, Riker? He's the center? Hold on, let me Google him real quick. What's his first name? Brock Riker? Let me look him up. See what he's listed as. Position, stature. Played 2 seasons for Texas State, appearing in 8 games. Does that sound right? 6'4", 290. So this guy's really lean. I thought somebody said this guy was like a freshman All-American. Am I a freshman All-Conference? Am I making this up? Wait, what was his number? Sorry. Number 51. Let's see. Hopefully he's playing this game because I don't know how much tape we... Oh, yeah, he's in there. Here we go. Yeah, he's at center this game. All right. We got another center prospect. So we looked at it. Well, we didn't look at the guy from Michigan. We unfortunately, I don't have a game on him, I don't think. But Singleton in the portal, who's that? He's going to Penn State. Don't even worry about it. Well, I mean, let's watch a couple clips. I just want to see what we were talking about. I mean, the fact that he's a center that's played, that's good. So we'll at least give him a comparison to the LSU guy we watched. And this is against Arizona State now, so this is against, decent competition. Sorry, you've got to watch it sped up because of the whole rules and stuff. But, I mean, just initial impression. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I just saw the eye test. I mean, he looks a lot more fluid, plays a lot, better than the guy we watched yesterday from LSU. Which, I mean, again, he's 6'4", 290, so he's a leaner guy, but I like him as a prospect better than the LSU guy already, and I've only seen a few clips, if that says anything. Just a much better athlete. Now, the thing with center is, without sitting here and meeting with this guy and talking to him, and again, this is a big piece of playing the center position too. So, unfortunately, we can't really analyze that, but all right. See if he got a little nasty to him. He tried to get a last little shot in on that last clip. Let's see. Cut block. Mm-hmm. I feel like he looks bigger than 290. That might be an old weight. Watching offensive linemen sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, it's boring, but you gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. A little unsure, man. Y'all said he's like 90% listed at or predicted to go to Penn State now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if DeBoer necessarily likes him small like that, but I think it does help having linemen that can move, that are a little bit more comfortable in space, a little bit more fluid, right? I don't think you necessarily have to be small. Like, I mean, this guy's 6'4". I wouldn't call it small. Like Parker was a little bit shorter, but I mean, this guy, I mean, I think he looks bigger than 290 in my opinion. Not like in a bad way. I think he's probably closer to 300, which is good. I think he moves well. I mean, again, I mean, he's not like blowing me away, but we're talking about a young player from Texas State. So I mean, but I like him better than if I had to choose between, and we're talking about center, we're talking about him or the guy from LSU. I know the LSU guy is older, has more experience, but like the guy from LSU, man, a heavier guy, footwork was kind of bad, kind of stepping underneath himself. Not for a bigger guy, one real powerful. You know what I mean? Like I like this guy better than that. Just initially, but I also don't think this guy's some like elite prospect by any stretch. But again, we need bodies. But it sounds like he's leaning towards Penn State. But it could change if he's on a visit here. Maybe we can secure him. But I do think he's a better fit than like that guy from LSU. I definitely think that. And this will probably be, better with experience, but sometimes it looks like he's kind of like unsure, like where he's going, stuff like that. Like, again, that stuff you can coach all that, but I just wish like we could find some tape of somebody. We're watching offensive lineman, and like when you watch I think you can see it on where's that clip from Miami? Like, let me show you what I'm talking about. Which, again, I know we're talking about Miami, but like when we watch offensive line play, like you see the movement we're seeing. Like, we're lifting guys off their feet. We're driving them down the field. Like I wish we could find some dudes where we're like, oh damn, you know what I mean? Like that would be nice. I know it's beggars can't be choosy or whatever it's called, but a little Brockermeyer is doing a nice job climbing up, getting on that guy, and just look at him running them. Look at him running them. Yeah. I mean, one day we'll return to that. Hopefully. And there's a nice job like that right there. Take him where he wants to go. They're on a path right here. Just crossing face. It's a good job. Yeah, I mean, I would gladly take him. I think he could be of service. Young guy too, so I mean, talk about developing him. I like him better than the LSU guy for sure. If we're talking about center. Which the Michigan guy, I don't know much about the Michigan guy either, though. I mean, does he look like he has this like nasty mean streak to him? No. But it looks like he's got pretty good footwork. I mean, in terms of kind of doing what you need him to do, assignment football. I mean, again, at the center, you really love to sit down with the guy because, I mean, up here is really important. But, I mean, he does a good job. I mean, nice job there, man. He's strapping nobody up. I think he's a good player. I thought I read he was like a freshman All-American or something. Maybe I'm making that up. Great. There you go. That's what I want to see. There we go. Great drive on that, right? We're working a combo block here. Him and 74, I believe that is, right? He's working inside zone on a combo, right? Inside zone, duo, damn near interchangeable almost, but regardless, they're working a combo block. Really nice drive like that. I mean, like that's what I want to see. This is Arizona State. It's good. I mean, this is against solid competition, man. Driving old buddy off the football. I mean, I'm sure they probably got better movement from the wide copy. There you go. Turning them out. Just got to finish that, but there you go. There we go. Yeah, I like this guy. Yeah, I think he's solid for sure. Climbing up. I mean, he's trying to finish, right? Like, see him bump the head. We're climbing to the backer. Get a hat on the hat. We're trying to work him in there. We're still driving. Still trying. Hey, I'll take it, man. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what all that extra stuff was right there, but He's trying to play to the whistle. There you go. Got the clamps on him. Yeah, I like this guy. I do. Almost basketball season. Yeah, we could talk some. We'll talk some Alabama basketball at some point. I'll try to get Richard Hendricks, I think, on here. There he is, getting out in the screen game. Let's see him run a little bit. We got to climb up better on that one. We got to climb up. I know you got to handle your work, but we got to get on that backer. Yeah, I think he's a good player. I definitely think he definitely come and compete for that center spot for sure. Now, I don't know. When I first looked him up, it said something about 8 games. Maybe that was wrong because I also thought I saw something that said he was I don't know. Let me see. So he didn't play in the bowl game. Earned the starting center job over a redshirt junior as a redshirt freshman. Started all 12 games, playing 868 snaps. Rated him as the best pass blocker among all starters. 3-star prospect out of high school. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good player. I mean, 100%. If you're talking about between the other dude from LSU and this guy, 1,000% would say this guy. I mean, not even close, honestly. Just by the way he moves, I mean, he does a good job. Beat out an older guy too, and that's impressive, especially as a center. Or think about it, as a center to beat out an older guy like that. And that means that's got to mean a little something too. I mean, maybe hopefully we can secure him if he is on campus. Like I said, even if it's just for depth purposes. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at him drive that dude off the ball. I mean, that's great combo block by those two. Great job. I mean, that dude, I mean, he got his back turned. He's running him out of the damn stadium. Look at that. Look at that hole open up. Great execution by those guys up front. Nice insert by that tight end. I mean, there you go. There you go. Nice job. Yeah, I think he's a really good player. I like him a lot better than the guy from LSU from yesterday. I mean, I would feel much better about a guy like this. One thing I always say, sometimes we're working up to the second level, kind of hesitant, ducking his head kind of deal. Just got to climb up on those guys a little bit quicker, get attached. But I think he's a good player. Great leverage and recognition, yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's hard to break down sometimes these centers and offensive linemen because, I mean, it's a different deal. But, no, overall, man, he moves his feet much better. I mean, the combo blocks that he's been on with his guard been pretty solid, getting to the second level. Pass pro looks solid. I mean, I think I just read that he was graded the highest pass blocking grade for his team, I think it was. But wait, so he's visiting Penn State right now? I thought you guys said he was visiting here. Oh, Lord. In your opinion, did the line this past year damage us from getting what we need in the portal? I'm afraid we're going to get guys not looking to develop and get guys looking for cash and a good time. I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm sure some of these guys are going to be considering. Well, you got to look at it. There's two different ways to look at it, right? Because there's on one end, guys can say, "Hey, man, that's a good opportunity. I can go play at Alabama. They're pretty much wide open on the offensive line, meaning I should have, some opportunities afforded to me to play at the University of Alabama." But others might look at it like, "Man, like they had some bad offensive line play. What was up with that?" And the ultimate goal for all these guys, man, they want to get to the next level. And if they don't feel like they can trust in that process of being developed and put in a position to make it to the next level, that's something that you might be fighting against. He's at Penn State this very moment. Oh, God. All right, we're done with this. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't matter either way. I just like watching tape. Yeah, no, my overall assessment just by about 3/4 or so we watched from this game, like I said, I mean, I think he could easily come in here and compete for that center job. Definitely think he'd be a much better option versus the LSU guy, in my opinion. The Michigan guy is hard for me to say because I haven't seen him. So I don't know about him. I saw some of his high school clips, but he was playing like right guard and right tackle, I think. So I think it was actually right tackle. Coleman just landed in town here. Let's refresh Twitter real quick. Let's see what and if y'all ever see anything, just tag us on X. You can always tag us and I'll jump over and pull it up. Oh, Singleton from Auburn entered the portal. That would be a big pickup. That was a guy that he went off against us. I think he was probably like their wide receiver 3 this year. I could be wrong, but I want to say I think he was. You can't say it, but I can. Our online coaches. My thing is hard for. Listen, I know he's been here 2 years. I've seen him at practice. I mean, he's got good energy to him. Here's what I know. I can only go off of what I've seen, folks I've talked to. I mean, there's definitely much to be desired there. I would just be completely honest with you. I mean, I'm not calling for nobody's jobs, but I do think we need to be better there 1,000%. So I guess I'll put it like that. But I can't remember who else I was talking to about this, but there's just some things that I just felt like, I mean, like we just, even from a technique perspective, man, like it just didn't feel like it was necessarily being addressed, and that to me is kind of like, come on, man. Like, I know we don't have the best talent to work with that offensive line, but I don't know. I feel like there's just some technique things that just were going on that just weren't really being corrected like that. But we'll see. Singleton would be a good player. And we already got big body guys, so I mean, it's not like you're saying, "Oh, we lost Hort, we need another big body receiver." You got Meadows, you got CD Morgan, so Singleton, I think he's a little bit smaller, but let's look him up. I want to say he was like their third receiver. I could be wrong. 5'10", 180. Yeah, he's a small dude. Good player, though. He had 58 receptions, 534 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Because I want to say, I mean, Cam was obviously number one. Who would have been there? Was he? Maybe he was their second. Maybe he had more than Perry. He definitely had more than Perry. Oh, Simmons was the other one I was thinking of. But I guess that would make him the second leading receiver. I like the suggestion about a run game coordinator. I mean, I'm pretty sure we already have one, right? I mean, you got to have one. I mean, but who's in charge of it, though? Normally, you got the offensive line coach handling that. For example, I think Jamarcus Shepard was the pass game coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. At least last year, I think that was his title. Singleton's projected to Florida. Damn. Didn't he just get in the portal? Is it a no contact tag? We need more. Yeah, well, that's why I said I think bringing in, what's his name, Derek Nix. I know he's a receiver coach, but he played running back, was a good one at that in college. And then he's coached running backs for years. Hopefully he can be that voice in that room. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping he has that type of influence as well. No validation of this, but we saw some Twitter traffic stating Bama is going after Missouri's line coach. I think that's somebody starting a rumor, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, who knows? At this point, man, I mean, who knows? Nothing. I haven't heard anything about any staff changes like that. I also haven't really asked anybody recently, but I think that's probably leaning more on the rumor side of things. I just think if you were going to make a change, to me, you'd probably want to do that now while you're trying to get these guys in versus wait. But I could be wrong. Maybe I guess I see the science of that. Like, oh, let's try to get guys, then we'll make the change. But I don't know. If guys are already leaving, regardless, with the guys still here, I don't think it'd make a difference if you get somebody new at this point. Well, he did make a change last year. He made a change last year. Remember, they got rid of Hutzler. Not Hutzler. What's the safeties coach? What was his last name? Colin something? I guess I could probably say this now that all that's gone. Let's go. We got 151 likes. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate that. That guy was, man, that last year defensively, he had a lot of influence on the defense. And there was just too many Chiefs. And that guy was bad. I'm just being honest with you. That's legit. He won great in terms of, the development of his guys. And then when it came to even just like what we were doing on defense, it was, yeah. So I commend Coach DeBoer for making that decision. However, I guess that's a Hutchler. Thank you. I was mixing him up with Hutzler. But the issue is that's a little bit easier because that's not like one of his guys. They hired him off from, I think he went to Wisconsin or something like that. And I'm sure there might have been a brief little connection or history, but yeah, that'd be different than making it up. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's really a connection with a guy like Cap. So who knows, man? Yeah. All the safeties had beef with them. Yeah. Yeah, I used to have to like hold my tongue last year, but like, yeah, that I'm just gonna be honest, that was a bad hire. That one did not work out well. That was a bad hire. They had to let him go. And again, you guys know me. I don't call for people's jobs or anything like that, but it wasn't a good fit, man. Wasn't a good fit. Wait, he's the defensive coordinator at UCLA? Yeah, I mean, listen, in another situation, I mean, maybe he'll probably be a little bit better potentially. I'm just saying, when he was here, it was not working well last year. I'll just say that. I don't like saying too much, but It was not working well last year. So DeBoer made that decision. They let him go. Yeah. I don't think we're If we haven't made any moves yet, I just don't see that happening anytime soon. I really don't. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but you guys get. I mean, for the folks that are wanting that, I don't. All right, so this does look like it is in motion. I mean, maybe his homeboy Ryan will take a little bit of a cut. I just don't see this happening, guys. I'm just being honest. I don't. Can I make a call to Jeremy Pruitt? Yeah, I don't think it's that. It's just other stuff involved with that one. If anyone takes the ball off her hands, Bama should at least talk to D'Amico. Excuse me, the bar literally makes more than double what he's making in Houston. Is that true? Is that true? He makes double. Man, if D'Amico Ryans came here one day, again, I'm not trying to push Coach DeBoer out the door. I'm just saying, like, down the road. Man, D'Amico Ryans, he was, when I was at the Senior Bowl, I couldn't play because of my hamstring, but I was just down there and just sitting in those meeting rooms with him because he was with my group. He's such a damn good coach, man. I would have loved to play for that dude. Like, I see why so many guys love playing in Houston. And you look at that defense. You look at, I mean, like, only a guy like that, a former player, a dude with his mentality, with his background playing here would, like, have a true understanding. I mean, man. I mean, even offensively, man. I mean, CJ Stroud. I mean, look at how the draft, he was smart, man. They drafted CJ Stroud. They go back, trade up, and get Will Anderson. No one, like, that's a dog, man. Yeah, D'Amico Ryan's one heck of a football coach. That would be dope. That would be fire. I would say, like, if I had a wish list of, again, down the road, guys, don't clip this and make it seem like I'm saying, oh, we're trying to get, no. I'm not trying to get rid of anybody. But I would love if Kirby came to the coach here one day. Like, after Coach DeBoer is done, I would love if Kirby said, all right, he did what he did at Georgia, and now he was to come back and tackle this task. Only because it'd probably be nostalgic for me. Maybe that's why I'm like that. But not only that, but it's just really just, man, like, you talk about intensity and passion, but also, like, that old school pedigree of, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying Kirby's teams are perfect. As we all know, I mean, as good as Kirby's teams are, I mean, they just like some of Coach Saban's teams, right? Like, I mean, there's going to be some moments where, there's some hiccups. You know what I mean? Like, I almost think maybe we do so much in these systems that it's almost inevitable. But you get what I'm saying, just in terms of just, like, having dogs, right? Playing a physical brand of football that it sticks to its roots. I love that, man. And so I think that'd be cool one day to see, like, Kirby or D'Amico Ryans. I think would be cool as hell too. Those two, I think, would be sick to have those guys here. But again, that's just, I'm talking, like, down the road, like, whenever that day comes. Yeah, I don't know if I see Kirby leaving his alma mater either, but I'm just saying, like, you never know, though. I mean, like, maybe he just coached there for a while, then retires, and he's just done with coaching. I think it would take a certain place. Maybe he'd want to try his hand at the NFL. Listen, the way NIL is going right now, I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing a lot of these top college coaches, like, if they do get opportunities to make that jump. And they're going to be targeted. I mean, you look at Marcus Freeman. I think his name's coming up with the New York Giants search. I'm sure Kalen DeBoer is probably going to come up with NFL coaching searches. I'll be honest with you. Me and my dad said this. I wouldn't be shocked whenever Coach DeBoer does end up making that next stop. I wouldn't be shocked if it is an NFL team. Personally, I wouldn't be shocked. Not saying it would be, but I wouldn't be shocked. John Harbaugh. this might be dumb, but wait, did he coach at the coaching level? I mean, obviously we know his brother did, but was he? I mean, I'm sure he probably has, but I'm probably gonna sound dumb asking that, but I don't know. I mean, I just think of him such a long-term NFL coach. I don't even remember. I mean, yeah, he was with the Ravens the last 18 years. Did he ever coach in the college ranks? Let's see. Where's his Wikipedia page? Western Michigan running backs coach, Pittsburgh's tight end coach, Morehead State, Cincinnati, Indiana. Last time he coached in college was back in 97. So, man, Saban ain't come out of retirement. I hate to break it to you. What did Dr. Crystal say? Hold on. Well, y'all, wait. Whoa. All right, ladies. No, okay. See, okay. What in the hell? You know what's crazy, Tia? Before y'all even said that nonsense, I was going to say the only reason you want Marcus Freeman is probably because your own interest. But after seeing that nonsense, it makes sense. Y'all have lost y'all's damn minds. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Even the way like their practice schedule has really felt like NFL type practices. Like this new staff, they kind of practice similar to like NFL style, more physical. But I'm saying like the structure of it. I don't know about Tommy Rees. Nah, I don't know about Tommy Rees. Yeah, I don't know about Tommy Rees. What y'all think about Cam Coleman though? Like honestly, like glasses off. Take the glasses off. He's on a visit. Excuse me. I mean, that's allegedly taking place right now. On3 said this 20 minutes ago that he just arrived on campus. Y'all think there's a realistic shot here? Or you think it's just kind of out of reach? Personally, I feel like it's out of reach, but I could be wrong. Oh my Tia, what are we talking about? What in the world is going on in this chat? His friends are here. Wide receiver coach is here. Made plenty of money at Auburn. Why not? I mean, I don't disagree. Like those things are working in our favor. I'm just saying, is that potentially $1 million worth of compensation? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying I just would be highly shocked if we were to even come close to matching what this guy's been offered. I would be beyond shocked. But I mean, you're right. I mean, his former position coach is here. He's still be in the state of Alabama. Where is he at from Alabama? Like what part of Alabama is he from? Let's pull up his tape real quick. Let's pull up his tape. We ain't got nothing else to do real quick while we're hanging out. I said 30 minutes, but why not? We'll pull up his tape. Let's just pull up his highlights though, because I don't feel like sitting here going through. Well, actually, no. We'll pull up. What was that game? Was it he went off against? Was it Missouri? He had that big game. Let's pull up a game where he really was going off. That way we can. I want to say it was Missouri. Let me pull this up. Or Vanderbilt. No. It was Vanderbilt. Sorry, I don't know why I said Missouri. Well, no, Missouri, he did go for 6 receptions, 108 yards. So he did, but it was Vanderbilt was the one I was thinking of, I think. 10 receptions for 143. Yeah, let's pull up that Vanderbilt game. Let me ask y'all this: if we do land Cam Coleman, does that make up for some of the other misses that we've had, like Peak and other dude? Would y'all be cool with some of that? I listen. I would be excited to get a guy like Cam Coleman. However, I need to see offensive lineman, man. I'll be honest. I don't think I would be like. I would think it's cool that we get him, but without an offensive line, I'll be honest. I'm not. I don't know, man. I feel like if we don't get an offensive line, we're just going to see the same crap that we saw this past year. I really do. Wait, damn, is it not on here? I got their defense, but I don't think I have their who said wait, y'all can't even feed Ryan. Well, that's what well listen, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have the offensive line, if we don't have the play calling, I don't really it's gonna be nice. They're probably gonna make some plays for sure, but we need offensive line, man, in a running game. If we don't fix offensive line in the running game, I don't care if we have Ryan and Cam Coleman, man. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be the same thing. Like we'll play well enough to probably give ourselves a chance, but it's gonna run out of gas, man. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be the same thing. Now, I will say, Ty's also moved on. I love Ty. I think he's a great player, but deep ball wasn't his forte. Now, a guy like Keelan or Austin Mack, I mean, that coming back into play, I will say this. One thing that helped us kind of overcompensate for that lack of running game was when we were having passing success early on in the year. And, I mean, I will say this. Some of that explosive playability will kind of open back up a little bit, even though you still need that running game. Don't get me wrong, but maybe one of these other quarterbacks will be able to be a little bit more consistent in that department and then add a guy like that. Still got to have time to throw the ball, but I'm kind of – I don't know. I'm kind of trying to put everything on the table here. Running back from NC State. Yeah, no, he's going to help out. He adds that explosive ability. I think he'll help out, and he'll be a good player for sure, but we got to block up front for him. What offense line and defense line are out there that's going to change anything? Nobody's letting the Trent Stars go. I wouldn't say – it's about letting them go. Some of them are leaving. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I haven't even pulled up a whole list of everybody in the portal. I mean, I can if you want. We could try to look at some of them. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I would imagine there's got to be somebody in there that can come in and help out immediately. I mean, there has to be. I mean, sorry, my dog's eating and drinking water in the background, but let's see. What do y'all normally use? This is 24/7 Sports, but we'll start with this one. If I need to go to On 3, I will. Sam Levitt, quarterback. That's the dude that just got paid that bag. But Digger said it was a 2-year deal for $5 million. I mean, still crazy. Wait, I mean, here's an edge. But this is what I'm saying. A guy like this, I mean, you're talking about probably damn near what Cam Coleman's probably asking. And I just don't see us paying that. Damon Wilson, I forgot about him. He's in there. Hell of a player. But he's a 1-year contract. 1 year and one and done. Which, at this point, I'm not really complaining. But the money he's going to be asking, is it worth it? We still got to see what Yanze does. That's why I like that Jordan Ross guy, man, from potential, youth, his ability, and not to mention, I mean, he probably would have been a lot cheaper than some of these other guys. I hate that we missed on him, but I'm sure LSU probably swooped in there with the bag for sure. Already committed to Texas Tech, of course. Wait, what number is this guy for Florida State? I don't remember his number, but yeah, hell, I don't even see any offensive linemen. Did we even see one yet? Let's just go by position. You're right. Maybe there aren't hardly any offensive linemen. Let's look at tackles first. Ole Miss. Who's this guy? Five-star coming out of high school. Allegedly, he reminds him of Ronnie Stanley. That's a damn good football player. I would take Earl Little. I would gladly take Earl Little back, but that ain't happening. DN from Utah. I'm not sure. Ross played 11 games and had 1 sack. Is that who we're wait? No, we're looking at Hurd. 6'6", 330. Damn. It's about to storm here, guys. Like to see us get some older players like Indiana did. Average age on the line is 25. There ain't no way. The average on Indiana's line was 25. I don't know about that. 25 might be a little too high. I mean, maybe 22, 23, but 25, I don't know. Ross has 1 sack in 2 years. Guys, but you got to hear me out, though. I'm not going off numbers. I'm going off potential, right? And you're talking about a guy that you actually could have afforded. Listen, he had like 1.5 sacks in 2 years. The first year, how many games did he play? And I think he redshirted. He only played like 3 or 4 games. So you got to take that into consideration. And if you're at that point, that means you're playing behind people. So he probably played in some trash minutes or something like that. Hold on 1 second. Fast forward to this year, he still was rotating in with guys. You know what I mean? So I get it. If you guys are just looking at stats, if you guys are just looking at stats, it's gonna sound like, oh, Ross, man. I mean, it's not a big deal, but we watch tape, guys, and I'm just telling you, if I was outside linebacker coach, I would take him over half these guys that might have better numbers because he's 6'5", 250 pounds, damn near, has a really explosive get off, and I mean, there's a lot of tools to work with. I guarantee you that dude has double-digit sack potential in the right system and the right coaches. I'm telling you for a fact. But can't justify paying 1.5 for a guy with no production. Well, no, listen, I'm not saying I don't know how much they're talking about paying him. I was thinking he would have been worth, and I shouldn't say worth, but I was thinking he would have been probably the price to sign a guy like that probably would have been a lot cheaper than a guy like Damon Wilson, who's an 8-9 sack guy already, in my opinion. Ross is ahead of Hill in the development, and we love Hill. See, so that now we got somebody that knows what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love Justin Hill, but in terms of pass rush, guys, it's not close. I mean, that Ross dude, I mean, like, I showed you guys some of these clips, man. I'll show you real quick. It's just no different than the NFL. I've seen a guy get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft as an edge that had 1 sack. Baltimore did it. Dude had 1 sack. And he's a pretty decent player for them. You don't just go off numbers all the time. That's why I'm saying don't just listen to what everybody's like the whole only production. That's not entirely true, right? Because it is a two-way street. I mean, if we're going to play that game, and then the next question is, well, why do the guys that are leaving from here that lack production, why aren't they, reaching their full potential? That's a fair question. It goes both ways. That could be scheme. It could be entirely on them. It could be they weren't bought in, but it also could be they're not necessarily being developed the best. It differs, but that's very fair. But I like Ross a lot. I really did, or did, whatever you want to say. But that's because, again, I mean, I played the position, so I have a good idea about like what, you know what I mean, like what kind of tools translate well. This is what I'm talking about. Because I watched his tape. I watched about 2 or maybe 3 games of him. If you're not getting notifications, make sure you should be subscribed, I'm sure already, but then make sure you click that notification bell. That way they notify you every time that we go live or we upload. But like you can see him right here at the top of the screen. I mean, dude just covers ground. He's 6'5", man. I mean, he's got closing speed. I mean, just watching him fly out the football. Do you not see that explosiveness? Like, I mean, that's so don't let like the 1.5 sacks fool you. I mean, he went like a real starter. You know, the first year he played a couple games, he redshirted. The next year, he was rotating with 19. I forgot the other guy. But like, see that, like the anticipation flying off the rock. Tell me who on our roster does that. I'll wait. Yonze does not do that. Yonze's a great player, but that's what I'm saying. They're different types of players. We don't have this type of edge guy and have it in a few years, right? Like, that's explosive. And then just look at it. He's so long and quick, man. He just there's nowhere that's we can work with that. I guarantee you, if I was coaching this guy, I guarantee I'd get double-digit sacks out of him. Easy. Here he is at the top. Right? Initially, you know, engages like he's going to power, disengages, turns his hips, or flips his hips, turns the corner. Again, like Yonze's starting to get better with that. Yonze did a lot of that coming out of high school, but Yonze has turned into like a speed to power guy. And now he's starting to kind of work off of that. But again, I don't know if it's because that's not what we're really teaching a whole bunch or what, but you don't see a bunch of our guys rushing like that. I'll wait. You tell me, y'all, please pull up some tape of our guys doing that over the last few years. I haven't seen much of it. Great get off. It all starts with a get off. Check. Great get off. Go to power, disengage, fall through the rip, turns the corner. Now, initially when I was watching this, I thought I was like, all right, man, we got to be smarter here, probably a quarterback player. However, you see the way they're playing it, though. You got this backer, right? I'm assuming that he's on the dive. They're setting him on the dive because he's crashing hard, and this is the quarterback player. So I don't think this was an ME like I initially thought. However, that's not the point. I mean, watch this. I mean, look at that effort. Look at the speed, right? And then violent intentions. Fumble. So, I mean, you guys can follow the path of the low-hanging fruit people that just go, oh, he had a 1.5 sacks. No, that's not impressive. Or you can listen to me and actually watch tape and see what these guys really are as football players, not just numbers, right? I mean, if you're telling me you don't think this guy would help this defense out, you've lost your mind. Again, I'm pretty sure he was a dive player on this call because the backer scraping over here was for the quarterback. But, I mean, he blazes past the linebacker. Oh, no, now you're trolling. Oh, now you're trolling. Now you're going to troll, Holty. That's funny. Now you're trolling. All that speed and violence, only 1.5 sacks. Oh, listen, man. It's the number of factors, man. Like, it's a number of factors. You know, you can't just always just go off that. I mean, who knows? But I hate to say it like this, but I don't even, if I was him, I don't know. I mean, at LSU, I mean, who's their D-line coach? It was Bo Davis at one point, wasn't it? We have not had an edge player since Anderson. We can't get them at Bama. Have not had speed on the edge where we way too big guys. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, we've been missing that. You know, you had Will Dallas and Chris Braswell. After that, I don't. Y'all keep saying we haven't had edge guys since Will Anderson, like Dallas. Dallas is that same era. Dallas 1 year after Will. I think everybody's lumping those guys together because they played together. Then Will left. Then you had Dallas, but after that, I mean, that was what, 2023. So the last 2 years. Who was it? Last year it was Q Robinson. I like Q Robinson. He got hurt though. He was the only guy that kind of offered us some of that speed off the edge. Then why do you think Jahad Campbell was forced to play edge on third downs? We didn't have, like, all you had literally was Q Robinson. Exactly. And Tennessee was stacked with those guys. That's what I'm saying. This guy was a young redshirt freshman. He hardly played. My redshirt freshman year, I don't even think I had a sack. I played in his cleanup time, played special teams. Sophomore year, I had 2.5 sacks, rotating in with guys like Ryan Anderson, Tim Williams. It reminds me of that. And somebody just said that. I was like, Christian, he had Christian Miller. He had 2.5 sacks. Fast forward, I ended up going for like 9.5 when I actually had an opportunity. I think this guy is that type of dude. Yeah, I was about to say, I thought Bo Davis left. You're saying we should have paid Ross 1.5. Is that what he got paid? Y'all keep saying 1.5. I don't know what he got paid. Listen, I don't know the exact numbers. I mean, if I want to know, I'll go ask. But I guess not. I got to come on here and be talking about all that. But I don't know the numbers. So, but if you're telling me hypothetically, we're talking about 1.5, would I have paid him that? It depends. I mean, if Yonze's coming back, he's getting a bump. So you're going to be paying him some money, because I guarantee you, it might not even be him, but whoever represents him is going to sit there and say, here's the facts. You need this guy. He just had 8.5 sacks for you. This is his value out of the portal. If he hits the portal, this is what people are going to be willing to pay him. He wants to stay at Alabama, but make it make sense. Again, I know it's probably not Yonze saying that, but I guarantee you, whoever represents him that's their job. Can't blame them. So you're going to be paying Yonze a lot of money probably. So would I have paid this guy that, knowing that we need offensive linemen? I mean, it depends how much we're working with. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know our budget. There's not like a clear-cut thing. I don't know. But I know these other teams act like they have no budget, and if they gladly will pay a guy like this 1.5. Why? Because they see what I see. And he's young. Yeah, right. Everybody can't be paid. So it's tough. But, I mean, I look at it with our roster. I'm like, all right, receiver, we got good players in the receiver room. We need depth. I definitely wouldn't mind another playmaker, another experienced guy, 100%. Definitely now that Horton left. But the way I look at it, I'm like, what good is that if we don't have offensive linemen? My priorities would be like the list I put out. Offensive line, I'm dropping bags. I'm dropping bags for offensive line and even defensive line / eggs. I'm edge, not eggs, edge. I'm dropping bags. I mean, just look at what Cristobal did, man. I mean, they got Tony. I mean, I'm sure I got to look at the other receivers that they have, like a little bit more in depth, like what they're producing. But I mean, really, the whole way Miami is built is from the trenches. That team is built off the trenches, man. And they got a quarterback who's probably 28 years old in Carson Beck. And they got them down South Florida boys, man. They got some dogs. When is the Tia? You probably know it, or if you don't, ask ChatGPT. You're probably faster than me. When is the NFL declaration deadline? 28 is wild. Listen, I'm probably not too far off. I'm being funny, but I'm probably not too far off. This light sucks. It's because it's so gloomy outside. Let me see. Let's see if we can change it. That didn't do anything. I need like a backdrop or something. Is it the 20th? Yeah, I know it's coming up. We'll see. It's too bright. Screw it. We'll leave that. 26. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody chat GPT. It'll tell us. But like I said, I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, man, they pay Courtney Morgan a whole hell lot of money over there. So I mean, I'm sure he's got a plan. I sure as hell hope they got a plan, because I mean, we legit just need bodies at this point. You don't get bodies. I mean, I don't even forget just getting, actual dudes. I mean, we need players. Like, who has like the updated roster right now? I think Clint put something out, like the updated like depth chart where things stand. Is that updated still? I don't know if either one of those guys. I guess Pittman's still available. I just don't know if I don't know. Go from head coach to a position coach. I don't know. Would they move Cap to tight end instead of firing him and bringing a new O-line coach? Oh man, I mean that's one way to think about it. I don't know. Could that work? Sure, because I hate to say it like this, but tight end coaches, I mean, half the time you get dudes that hadn't even coached tight ends. That's kind of like on the totem pole of coaches, tight ends coaches literally kind of like, we just need this guy on our staff. I mean, and if he has experience coaching tight ends, that's great. But normally, tight ends coach is kind of like, you'll see a former running backs coach, former receivers coach. I mean, it could be. So it's not a bad way to look at it. I don't know if he has any experience, but in terms of like the blocking side of things, it would be totally fine. Now, in terms of them in the passing game, probably feel better about like a guy like a former receiver / running backs coach. But who knows? Not something crazy that you threw out there. I don't think it happens. Shoot, that would be dope to bring in OJ Howard. Why wouldn't you? I mean, a dude that's a Super Bowl champion, a dude that was one of the best tight ends in recent years here at Alabama. I mean, great dude. I love OJ. OJ's come on this show. They're just not going to do it. And you know why? And it's the dumbest thing. It's just like, unless you have like extensive coaching experience, I mean, they normally don't do that. Like, it's hard to just give a guy just a big gig like that right away. And for most situations, I could understand that. But as a tight ends coach, I mean, like, if you're asking for somebody that can legit coach a tight end up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of these tight ends coach out there, any of these tight end coaches that are out there would be better than a guy like OJ. And he literally played it, just retired a few years ago. Oh my! See Tia, see all that nonsense, Tia. You just, I'm gonna have to put Tia's comments in timeout, man. She talking crazy. He's not attacking the offseason like a coach in a make or break year 3. Well, I mean, I think there's only, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of moving pieces. I don't think it's entirely on him. You know, you got to remember, I mean, you got the people in the GM / recruiting stuff. I mean, you got the NIL side of things, but I hear what you're saying. You know, it does feel like the sense of urgency might not be as high as you'd probably expect. Because I agree. I mean, I do think year 3 again. Please don't Damian Harris me. I'm not saying this by any means, but listen. Let's just all be honest here. There is a little more pressure this year, you know, given just the way, and really, and again, strictly probably based on the performances in certain games. Not even like record. Like, that's why I keep trying to say it's not the record. I think everything that they've done in year 2 in terms of, you know, accomplishments or like taking the next step. I mean, that's a step in the right direction. But, you know, having a team show up the way they did in the Rose Bowl, like that creates more pressure. And if anybody gets mad at someone saying that, man, they're just not being realistic. I'm just telling you right now. I mean, if you don't think the boosters and the people that pull the strings feel more pressure because of the way we lost that game versus if we would have went out and played a competitive game. If you go out and play a competitive game in the SEC championship game / the Rose Bowl, I don't think there's that much pressure, really, honestly. I think you look at it as, oh, cool, man, made it to the Rose Bowl, got beat by a good team. But when you show up like that, and you already have in the back of your mind like the Vanderbilt performance, the Oklahoma performance, it's like we just don't lose. It's normally like we lose in like some embarrassing fashion. You know what I mean? And I think that's what ultimately has created more pressure. So. Yeah, and listen, y'all can't get mad at me because, listen, Coach Saban just was saying the same stuff that I just said. And if we're being honest here, we're all thinking it. It's just people don't want to always hear it, but it's just we're all thinking. Coach Saban is right. Like, you know, there's an expectation here at this university, again, especially with the people that are behind the scenes, that you know, those performances aren't they're not going to fly with those folks. It's just not. So They won in spite of. What does that mean? Totally different viewpoint if we were competitive. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's very fair to say. I mean, listen, and Coach Saban really even just said just because even the top 8 isn't really the standard. I mean, that's from Coach Saban, not even me. I would argue people are okay with making it as far as we did and coming up short, in year 2. That's not I would argue it's the fashion in which we lost. Sean, come on now. Please don't do that. Come on, Sean. Whom is Saban getting paid to consult? So just because he's paid to be around here and paid for all the stuff that he built here, literally in terms of not even just from the sporting perspective, from even an economic perspective, now we're going to blame him? Come on, man. Come on, Sean. Don't do that, man. Listen, just because somebody's available as a resource, okay, for you to talk to and get advice, he is not in the building every day. He's not in the building every other day, not every month, not every other month. He's not over there. That's Coach DeBoer's program now. He is there as an advisor if you need him. They're not scheduled meetings. If you need him, if you need some advice, he's there. Let's not do that and make it seem like, he's one to talk. He's the one advising. You make it seem like he's like the president of the team or something, and it all falls on him. It ain't got nothing to do with him. He ain't coaching those players, and he ain't coaching those coaches. He just offers advice if they reach out. If they don't reach out, he does not talk to them. That's how it works. Come on, Sean. Don't do that, man. Come on. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. I mean, listen, if you're upset because we're just being honest here, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Nobody said anything bad other than there's more pressure on Coach DeBoer and the staff going into year 3 due to the way that they showed up in several games this season versus them just losing the game. That's just a fact. I mean, like that's not hating. That's not being negative. That's just the honest truth. I mean, guys, y'all see this is a business, man. And you got a lot of people that put a lot of money into this stuff, man. Best believe, like they have expectations. No, not blaming him. I was just saying, what's his input? His input, what do you mean? What is it? Are you saying like what are his thoughts? I mean, all he did was say, again, people ask him questions. He gets paid to do media. He just was saying, here, let's try to pull it up. I think he let me see. He said something about it, I think, right? Well, because I know Pat McAfee asked him something, then he also said something on game day. But let me see. I think this was one thing he said.
Then Alabama loses, and they don't have a Saban disciple, and you're already there.
This is about the disciple thing. So this is something a little bit different, but this is interesting. I want to see what you guys think about this.
Did you ever think about?
Can we play a Pat McAfee show without them trying to damn hit us with something? I'll pause it like every 30 seconds just in case.
About that, whenever the decision was being made with Greg Byrne, like, were you part of the conversation on whether or not should we continue with one of my guys? Should we go a different direction? Like, why do you think that happened? And should I feel disrespected for them deciding not to hire one of your disciples when it's clearly the right decision in college football in 2025, 2026, and forever?
Yeah, well, I think if somebody was available, I'm not sure anybody was available that they could have maybe gotten to come here. And I do think that Kalen DeBoer is a really good coach and doing a good job here. This is a tough transition, especially in this environment that we live in college football in terms of, players coming and going. I think.
Real quick, because I got to pause it anyway just to be safe with this stuff. Y'all know that Coach DeBoer's house is like right across the street from his? Like all seriousness. Like they literally live like in the same neighborhood and like right across. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you probably could see. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you can see each other's houses from where they live at. I don't know if you knew that, but it's kind of funny, just for what it's worth. But I just needed a reason to pause it. All right, let me start this back. Sorry.
I think there was like 26 players that got in the portal when I retired. So that's a lot to overcome for anybody. And it would have been a lot to overcome for even, one of the guys that formerly coached for me. So, I fully support Greg Byrne and what he decided to do and how he's done it, and I'm hoping that they get the ship going in the right direction here. It's not bad to get in the playoffs and finish, in the final 8, but not the expectation around here, which is tough to live up to sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's what he said. So again, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He's just speaking facts. Expectations here are just different. Probably go on boat rides together. No, I don't think they're doing all that. I don't think they're doing all that. He needs to move it. Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild into these comments, man. This is the epitome of a free-for-all Friday. Y'all are wild, man. Folks behind the scenes better pony up money so we can be competitive. But we don't have like a true billionaire guy to just reach out to and go get that. But I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, if Alabama wants to continue in the right direction, you're right. It's going to cost. There's no other way around it. I hate to say it like that. And what's crazy is when I was talking to people a couple of years ago, when this stuff was really kind of getting going, and they were saying that, and I was just like, man, I'm not buying that. I'm like, bro, like, we're Alabama. Like, forget all that money, this and that. And they're like, dude, I'm telling you, that's what's running the ship now. And boy, were they right. They were not lying. He don't want to seem like he's always running to save him with issues. But dang, it's part of the reason they're paying. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do know, I mean, there was like, even like from a defensive perspective, I know like initially there were some meetings that like Kane would go, get Coach Saban's opinion on some things. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I think at the end of the day, people want to do things the way they like to do it. So I just leave that there. So, I mean, like I think some people have this misconception that just because Coach Saban's there, they can just run over there and get all this advice. But it's not really how it works for whatever reason. But I think a majority of the time, people kind of have, I don't know if I would say it's ego or they're, it's just they trust what they've always done. But I can't say too much, but just read between the lines. I have more faith in Kalen DeBoer because of the comment, actually. He told Chris Stewart immediately after the Rose Bowl, we've all masked it as long as we could. I mean, that's being honest, but the problem is, like, at what point do we go from masking it to addressing it? Right? That to me is the most important. Like, I like the accountability for sure, but the next step is we got to stop masking it. Right? Sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and you just got to let the healing process start. And maybe that's kind of the approach they're taking. Maybe that's why you're seeing a number of guys in the portal. But my thing is, and I stick with this, and this is why I said it to Clint the other day, like, if we're going to have, like, how I post the Black Air Force energy and we're calling guys, not calling them out, but it's saying, like, hey, man, like, pull up the tape. If the production doesn't match, figure it out on the way out. All right, that's cool. We have that approach. But for every guy going, that's a spot that's opening up. And that means you're going to have to replace somebody. Right now, the replacement process isn't necessarily in line. Again, we got plenty of time, but it's not, as of now, not so much in line with the guys that have been on the way out. So that's just my take on that. And we could get all the Alabama NFL players to pony up. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. Was that Lynn? Hold on. So I can't see your picture. Oh, that's Lynn. Yeah. No, sir. I should say. I'm sorry. Lynn. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I'm a former player. I love Alabama. I'm not even subscribed to Alabama. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I'm not. Probably should for the purpose of the show, though. for maybe probably get some more media stuff to work with. But personally, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not personally subscribed. There's no like, I'm stubborn. No, it's just I just didn't really, I don't know, have interest in subscribing. And I'll be honest with you. I'll do it now. I said I would do it now if we got Jordan Ross. We ain't get him. So guess what? I'm still waiting. Hell, if they want to partner with my show, I will gladly subscribe. And I'll tell everybody each and every day, all you lovely folks that come listen to me ramble out some nonsense for a couple hours at a time. I'll tell everybody each and every day. That's the thing. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've talked to a lot of former players, man. Every single one. I did a poll, matter of fact, a year and a half ago. I asked, because we were talking about this conversation, that whether or not former players should reinvest. I reached out to a number. I sent a bunch of text messages out, and I asked a bunch of former players, and I said, what are your thoughts on former guys, making, big donations, not just subscribing to the service. I'm pretty sure they'll all be fine paying $15 a month if that was necessary. But I asked them about the big donations, and you know what every answer was? It wasn't no. It was hell no, F no, hell nah. I don't think I got just a regular no. I think I got everyone was like a explicit no. So yeah, that ain't happening. Because you got to think, man, and I hate to say it, but like, listen, none of us had the luxury of doing this. Some of these guys are making more than now the rookie salary has gone up, but there's some guys in college that are making more than guys in the league. And you're going to tell me that you think they should be writing these checks when they've got families to feed, when they didn't get that money and they had to work to get to where they're at. I'm just telling you, I'm not saying it's a bad question to ask. I'm not saying that, not at all, but I'm just telling you they're not doing it. Maybe a guy like Bryce Young or Will Anderson, hell, they actually benefited from NIL, so it's a little bit different. But I could see maybe one of those guys, like their first top picks. So, I mean, you're talking about they got a lot more money than the average guy in the NFL anyways. And not everybody in the NFL is, making $1 million plus a year. You got to remember that too. But those guys, maybe they write a check for several $100,000, maybe one-time donation. Sure, maybe. But I don't think anybody should be required to do so. Not even close. I mean, I'm telling you from experience, like my first year here, I used to get a direct deposit once a month for $125. $125. And then I got a couple $100 and I'll give you the whole picture. I'm not going to just use that. I'll be honest. $125 from direct deposit. Dining dollars, which could only be used at like restaurants and stuff to get us some food if like the dining hall was closed. Used to use the hell out of those dining dollars on that damn pizza. We used to order pizzas to the dorms all the time. Domino's, I think. Domino's, they accepted dining dollars. And then if you qualified for FAFSA, right, which is like student assistance, right? So like if your family qualify, like I think it was like if maybe like based off income or whatever it was basically like some type of student assistance. You could get that check. I think it was once a semester. So, and it would be maybe like $1,000. That's like $1,000 maybe twice a year. Maybe $1,300 if that. And then shit, that was pretty much about it, guys. So I mean, my freshman year, I mean, we had and I had like a 04 F-150 that was lifted, big 35s on it. So, that's a gas guzzler. It was probably about 80 at the pump. I mean, at 125, I wasn't even getting 2 tanks of gas a month. You feel me? So, I mean, like different ball game. Now, when you moved off campus, so after 2 years, you had to live in the dorms for 2 years. Nowadays, it's crazy. I mean, Ryan Williams had a whole house. Ryan Williamson had a whole house when he first got here. We had to live in the dorms 2 years. Then you move off. When you move off campus, the stipend was like $1,600 a month. So that's great. But The problem is that is to cover your rent and utilities and everything else. So you guys do the math. I mean, if your rent is about $1,000 and that's pretty damn cheap, but say you got a roommate, say y'all paying $800, half of it already. Might have some utilities to pay. You want a car, a few $100s, car insurance, phone bill. I mean, guys, we were not balling back then. And don't ask me about these alleged payments that everybody was getting their cars and stuff, because I'm telling you, I did not receive anything while I was in college, and that's not me just saying that just to sound good. I promise to God, I did not get anything. I never received anything. Now, I can't speak for everybody else. I'll let them speak for themselves. But I did not receive anything when I was in school like that. But I'm also not dumb. And I never asked anybody of my teammates, so I can't even sit there and say that. But am I dumb? No, I ain't dumb. I think, yeah, when my dad talks about people get some of those little handouts every now and then, we all know something like that was going on everywhere. I didn't get anything. Pell Grant. I think Pell Grant Fast was the same thing. One, or are those different? If not, there you go, another little $1,000. But come on, man, you're talking about the whole year. I mean, so you're talking about we might get paid. I mean, like a freshman year, maybe with Fast for Pell Grant if you apply for that. I mean, all that you're talking about, damn, maybe $5,000 over the year. You break that down over months. That's $600 a month on average. That, like, come on, man. So imagine dudes going through that, then finally getting to the NFL and they're finally making money. They've got family, they got kids now. And then the university expecting you to go and write a check when you didn't get this. But then you see these guys, you come back to go work out on campus, and these damn dudes got cars that are nicer than yours or just as nice. And you worked your ass off for it. They hadn't even played yet. They got condos, houses. I mean, guys, just do the math. I mean, $360K a year, right? As independent workers. So that's, before taxes. And yes, these guys are, responsible for taxes. That's $30,000 a month. So imagine a 19-year-old, because y'all just, think about it. You probably don't break it down like this, but just think about this for a second. A 19-year-old who signs for $360 for a year. You think of it, oh, okay, that's a lot of money, $360. But then you really think about it. That's $30,000 that's hitting their account every month. And when we were in school, I just told you, on average, the most was maybe $600 if you broke down. I'm talking about all the assistants included. And then when you moved off, the most, you said, so $1,600 plus some of those things to, I would say, maybe $2,500. If that. And that's probably me being generous. And you think these guys are going to be quick to stroke a check? Oh, man, no, ain't happening. Now, the new age that did get NIL, shit, go take all their money. They benefited from it, so let them pass the torch back. But anybody that came up from my range before and after that didn't get NIL, ain't happening. They're not doing it. I don't know of not one guy that would do it. So funny, man. Like post radio, we just get into like film breakdowns and just like honest dialogue, man. Be sitting on here for like an hour and a half watching tape and just being transparent, man. It's fun though. It's fun. This new era on the Miller's Edge is really, really fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Former players were conned by the NCAA. Yeah, while all these people are getting billions of dollars, we're sitting there tearing biceps, tearing hamstrings, getting concussions. You name it, right? Car crash collisions. And yeah, again, free school. I had, walked away with undergrad, masters. It's great. I'm grateful. And again, that's what I signed up for. I'm not complaining, but it is kind of crazy if you think about it. We're the ones doing all that while you got these old folks just sitting in press boxes collecting all the checks from the media stuff while we're out there doing all that. Midday Miller's Edge. Yeah, I know. Hopefully we bring y'all some entertainment to y'all's midday. Like I said, man, I'm trying to make it a little bit more entertaining too. I know try to be very educational, try to be very do a little breakdown stuff, but trying to follow my brother's advice a little bit, make it a little more exciting. Joke around a little bit more, be a little funny. Oh yeah, then y'all get this though. Then these the back pay, right? That they came out and said after the lawsuit. I can't talk numbers, but just know like what they're honoring us for, like, 4-year, because it only goes back. So I got credit for 3 years because it only goes back to 2016, but still I'm grateful. But for what they're honoring us for like a yearly basis is honestly a joke compared to all this other stuff, especially given like being somebody that played here at Alabama. I played in 4 straight national championship games. Like, and just looking at the number like that we were awarded, and I'm like, but you're telling me you got dudes that played at Virginia Tech or what other schools, dudes I've talked to, same kind of area. And I'm like, you know how much money, if you played for this how much money we brought in? Like these people are nuts. And then they're breaking it, like doing it. It's like a 10-year plan. So we get it over the course of like 10 years. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful, because I mean, hell, I'll take the back pay. They owe us some, but so that's why, if you can, support former players. Support former players. Y'all sick and tired of NIL? Here's my sales pitch right here. Anybody with a business, anybody that needs, again, I'm not saying some handouts, donations. I don't do all that crap. But you see us doing media or something like that. Listen, we got plenty of advertising and sponsorship opportunities. You got a business or anything, hit us up. themillersedge.com. You can get our email and all that from there. I'm joking, but I'm actually being serious, man. Like it really, I'm telling you guys, you would be shocked. Like this media space, I mean, pretty much, like, you got to think, like, for me doing this, right? Like, I have to literally compete with Yay Alabama, like the NIL, just to get sponsors, just to do my show. You know what I mean? Like, before that, like, man, we would have been, advertising is like a breeze, right? But now, because all the money and traffic is directed to Yay Alabama, NIL, bro, people like me that are former players, like, dude, it's like you're competing against them themselves. It sucks. I'll be honest with you, it sucks. Now, fortunately, this is more like, something I kind of do because I really enjoy, and luckily I'm able to kind of, I'm pretty solid when it comes to sales and stuff, so it works. But I'll be honest with you guys, man. Like at some point, like if it gets to a point where, I mean, we can't keep up, like, with our sales and stuff, and unfortunately, it's not going to make much sense to be able to keep doing this. Because I'm telling you, like with NIL, man, like all these business, all they care about, because you got like the media department over at Alabama, all they like, it's all about getting NIL money. So if all these businesses are writing all these checks to the Yay Alabama, somebody like me who paid my dues, did all this stuff, didn't get the benefit from that. Now I'm trying to bring you guys great content and do all this stuff. Normally, it'd be easy just go out, sponsorships and advertising. Now, I mean, that's hard as hell to come by. Advice to your brother, your content, knowledge and presentation, spot on. No changes. Squeeze in more callers. Yeah. I definitely want to get more callers for sure. The problem is, how do I say this the best way? I want to get as many callers as we can, but sometimes like they start going different directions or going things, and I try to like stick with where, I guess that's my job to kind of, keep it all whatever. But yeah, I definitely want to get more callers on for sure. But I hate to say like this, but sometimes too, depending on the type of caller, sometimes the callers can kind of drive the audience. So you gotta do it a certain way. You know what I mean? Because we've had it too, where I used to be really generous. I used to try to get callers on and leave them on as much, but then as soon as we start going to the phone lines, the listenership starts dropping. So just kind of trying to balance it. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I'm not changing nothing too much. I'm just saying, to his point, like I think like with my dad, that's why I keep trying to get him on as much, because like he helps bring like that entertainment. Like people, Roman said it best when I was chopping up with Roman. Because I've always been about like me, like I'm serious. Like my purpose is I really want to educate people on the game of football. course, I want to talk about it, but my goal was like to break it down, like because there's a need for it, there's a hunger for it. People, that's why people love these breakdowns. That's the new wave. So I'm leaning into that. That's why we're doing so much breakdown analysis, stuff like that. But I also think, like Roman also said, man, it's about education and entertainment. You know, people want to be entertained. So just trying to do a little bit of both. Tell Reagan. You talking about Reagan from R&R? Oh, Reagan's Reagan's been sponsoring us for years, man. Yeah, so all I know, we got, listen, that's why I said we got some great partners, man. But again, you gotta maintain that, you know. You gotta maintain that. And I'm gonna be honest, like I said, like our title sponsor opened up going into this year. And so we got availability there. And that's a big deal for a show. Like your title sponsor is like they're your main deal. So we're open right there. So I've been working on that. But yeah, no, I'm just being completely honest and raw with you guys, man, how this stuff works. That's why, like, when you know, people say like, oh, just hit that like button, man, it might seem like a little petty thing, but it at least helps, at least push the content, helps drive, you know, the viewership, and that helps. But I'll be honest, like in terms of like just basic what's it called, like revenue from like ad revenue and stuff like that, it's you don't really get anything from that. It's all about sponsors, you know. Yeah, exactly. Like my dad, Slade, and that, yeah, they bring a lot. So yeah, the game plan is like this year, man, focusing on bringing a bunch more of guests, especially former guys, really like offering like quote unquote expert analysis, breakdown type stuff. That's the direction I'm definitely leaning in, which is exciting. And I love it, man. Like I said, it's such a blessing. If I'm being completely transparent with you guys, like I mean, there's a portion like last year when we were doing this again, because we've been a radio show, and the radio show does great, but I've been wanting to get more on the streaming side of things because that's where everything is kind of trending. And man, it just felt like we weren't really catching a break. And I was just like, man, like, dude, without a doubt, and I don't mean this in like a cocky way, it's just a confidence. I'm like, there's nobody that has the expertise, that has the delivery, that has the professionalism, that has the information that we're offering, that I'm offering over here on my platform, especially for Alabama football. Go find me somebody. You're not. But we didn't, it just wasn't really translating for, like I said, I don't know. So that's why I was like, man, there's parts last year, I was like, man, I don't even know if I still want to do this like that. I mean, like, but sure enough, man, like, I don't know, man, just kind of prayed about it. And over the last month or so, I would say really, I just kind of started being a little bit more open with it too, like putting ourselves out there, like, hey, man, like, support former players, check us out. And all of a sudden, man, we finally started. I mean, it's been the reception that we've gotten over the last few weeks has been awesome. Kind of relit that passion, you know what I mean? That motivation to keep going. Cause I'm like, I know we got a great product. Product's not the problem. Like I said, man, just tough deal nowadays with the whole NIL stuff, but it is what it is. Man, let me see. Bama may be in on Javion Campbell. Kentucky. I'll pull it up real quick. Bama media is like a country club. It's hard to get in. They definitely don't uplift and welcome. And yeah, it kind of does fight. But like I said, I don't even like feeling like I'm in like that same space because like I said, I feel like what we do is a little bit different. Consistency, 100%. That is a big deal. And I should probably be posting more like in the evenings and stuff like that. But dice up clips, 100%. I've been using, man, AI is crazy. I've been using the AI feature on our streaming platform just to pump those clips out, and that's definitely helped. The problem is, man, like I'm like a one-man army. I've been trying to find people. I literally have asked, I'm like, anybody that's good with editing clips, because I know, like literally, like if we had the production piece and like the editing piece, oh, it's raps, man. You just get me and my dad to sit down in front of this camera and this microphone. I mean, you're talking about strapping a rocket. The problem is I'm a one-man army. So everything you see from thumbnails, editing, clips, that's me. Sales, me. I mean, everything. I don't have a team, and I've been trying to find people, man. Bama Fantasy Camp. That would be smooth, and we probably should get creative and do some more stuff. Yeah, no, I understand. That's like I said, I have no problem, getting people on board. But the problem is, I don't know anybody, man. Like I've asked, I'm like, even in like some damn interns here or something from the university, I'm like, there's got to be people that are good with that stuff. But I think everybody's so busy. So, but yeah, you guys got great advice, man. I appreciate that. Let me pull up this Kentucky real quick. What number is he? Kentucky defense versus Georgia. Let's see. Can you get Coach Cap on the show, talk about entertaining? I don't think he's gonna come on here. Advertising 100%. It's a country club. You're 100% right. But see, and that's why I'll be honest with you, man. Our title sponsor was kind of like that. You're right. You just need like one big one. But now that opened up, I'm not gonna lie, we kind of need to probably figure that part out. But no, we do it. We have great sponsors, just like on the base level. But and you know what really messes it up is in Alabama, you can't gamble like that. And with sports shows, man, gambling services, which I don't necessarily want to push something that would be an issue for people, but if you're doing it responsibly, you get what I'm saying. Sports betting goes hand in hand with sports shows. The problem is in Alabama with sports not really being legal like that, it kind of messes that up. But yeah, like a casino or gambling, I don't know. Anybody has any connections with anybody like that, man? Definitely put me in contact with them, man. Because I'm telling you, right now would be the time. I mean, because we're starting to really kind of take off right now. So, like I said, we haven't had a title sponsor opening in 3 years. So, I mean, now is the time, literally. What was his name? Javion Campbell. Let me see what number he is. 56, freshman, 6'5", 270. Only thing I'll say about 6'5", 270, we just signed that other guy, and we broke him down. We came to the decision that he is not probably best fit to play inside. We need some interior, defensive tackles. This guy, 270, he kind of fits that. Not kind of. He's more on the realms of being a bandit, right? So, but let's check him out. 56. I don't know if he played in this game. Let's look at his game log to see which games he actually played in, so we don't waste our time. Let's see. Well, he only had one solo tackle this season, so I don't think he played a whole bunch. As a matter of fact, I think he played in one game. Tennessee Tech. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't even know if that game's going to be on here. I mean, we can try to find it. What's the big title sponsor cost these days? I'll be glad to get with you on that. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. It ain't necessarily cheap, but I mean, to be fair, you got to understand. I mean, we're kind of a hybrid in the sense where, I mean, radio coverage itself is already, one thing, but then on top of that, the good thing about advertising with us is you're getting radio advertising right on Tide 100.9, which is the flagship station for Alabama football. But then also with us expanding our platform, just like I do, like I try to get innovative and do like the slides and stuff like that, right? Like you're getting even more exposure, right? Via YouTube and the Facebook page on Tide 100.9. There's 55,000 subscribers or so, 50,000 subscribers, something like that, on that Facebook page. So I mean, there's a lot of exposure, not just from a local standpoint, from a national standpoint. So, yeah, but if you guys are interested, man, please, like I said, themillersedge.com. Email is just themillersedge@outlook.com. But if you go to the website, there should be like a link for contact me. I'll be glad to hook anybody up with any information, or like I said, even if you just know somebody that runs a business that might be interested. And again, there's plenty of stuff that we can do. It doesn't have to be the title sponsor. Title sponsor is great because, like I said, I mean, you need a title sponsor, which that literally just opened up like 3 or 4 days ago. So we'll definitely be working on it. What are we about to look up real quick? I'm drawing a blank. Because I don't think that guy has tape, but we can pull up his high school highlights if you guys want me to. We can do that. And I don't think we have to worry about stopping and starting with that, but I could be wrong. Real quick, but if you guys are wondering, this is a website, themillersedge.com. I don't really push it a whole bunch, but if you click join the team right here, there's a section. You can literally just type in like your information right here, hit submit, and that'll automatically send it. Or I want to say, oh, that opens my email. Okay. But yeah, that should, I think, like, I don't know, open email or something like that. I don't know. If you guys were interested in, but anyway, yeah, like I said, at themillersedge.com. Let's see if we can find his high school highlights. And I'll probably get out of here for today. Javion Campbell. I need highlights, man. I guess we could do huddle. And y'all brought him up. Is he trending here or what is it? What was the deal with him? My thing is, he's also young too. So I mean, just rumored interest. Oh, appreciate that. But yeah, and I need to update the site a little bit too. But yeah, nah, man, I don't ever push it. But yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, it's got information on there. Keep up with everything. I don't even know if you guys knew we had a website. For whatever reason, these links don't work great all the time. There they go. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think he would be a depth guy, if I'm being honest with you. He played basketball. Looks like he's got some basketball highlights on here, but I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. All right, it's 3 o'clock. I think I'm gonna get me some lunch, man. But seriously, I can't thank you guys enough for just hanging out. Literally, I mean, shoot, we're 4-hour streams, man. We've been rocking and rolling this week, and we're gonna keep it up. Next week will be probably no different. So we'll keep breaking. Oh, you like the hats? I appreciate it. I had one over here somewhere. Yeah, we sold out of those, but maybe I need to bring those back. Yeah. I don't even push the website just because I mean everything's on our YouTube platform. But yeah, just go to, if you guys, like I said, if anybody's ever interested in getting in contact with stuff, just go to that website, themillersedge.com, and then there's plenty of links. You just go to stay connected or get connected, whatever it is, and it'll send us an email and we'll get on it. But trying to think. This weekend, I'll keep up to date with everything. We don't go live, but just make sure you follow us. I'll tweet if something comes up. Something, I don't know, if something big comes up, I'll tweet, or who knows, maybe we can jump on here and do some extra live, start posting some more. I don't know, but if not, y'all have a great weekend. Y'all be safe. I'll be watching the game tonight, see who wins out of Indiana. We'll see if it was a fluke against us, which I don't think it is. I know it's going to be a closer game tonight, but I'm excited to watch those guys take the field, and we'll be talking about it Monday. But seriously, big thanks to all of you guys, all our supporters. Let me make sure I didn't miss a super chat. I don't think I did. I think we hit all that. Yeah, Phil. Big thanks to Phil, Brandon, Ron, all you guys, and all of our listeners. Seriously, You guys are awesome. Y'all been killing likes. We're already pushing 200 again. Thank you so much. That helps more people see the channel, helps push all the content. And yeah, that, man, y'all are awesome. So y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. I look forward to seeing you guys Monday right here. We're talking about the playoff matchups. Hopefully some good, not recruiting, but transfer portal news. And yeah, man, we'll wait, that's cool. You're doing this, spending the time instead of mouth breathing, YouTube types. Hey, man, to each his own, man, to each his own. We just try to put out quality content that's informational, entertaining, and all that good stuff. No, I don't have a coaching itch. Not in this climate, man. Not in this climate. I would love to work with guys, maybe like as a pass rush specialist, but not like as an actual coach. Nah, not right now. Maybe down the road, but I like media, man. It allows me to do what I like to do. I mean, I do some real estate stuff in terms of investment stuff. Definitely invest in the stock market. Like, I like doing other stuff, and media allows me to stick with all that. Coaching, it would be kind of tough. You still could do it, but I wouldn't be as hands-on like I like to be. But all right, I'm gonna get some lunch. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys Monday.